Yo, time for the late night boxing talks. Yeah, man. I agree with what Rick Glacier said about the fight purses. I just did a video about that for those that want to know what I'm talking about. It contributes to a problem. You could be happy that the dude is getting money, but there's no such thing as a free lunch. It's all interconnected, all of it, you know? It makes it more expensive to be a boxing fan in this country that already pays more than everybody else. So, it's all part of the same picture. Man, I had a dude on a video on a video I did earlier about the Jaron Ennis and Crawford thing, right? I had a dude, man, he wrote me like a 8-page letter, dog. I'm like, yo, bear in mind that the whole thing was basically personal attacks. It's not even addressing what's in the video, but the fact that he chose to leave that comment under that video tells me, oh, you mad. You can't address what I said in the video because I brought all the receipts. I got the audio, I got the video, I got the articles, I got all the screenshots. You can't address what I said in the video, so all you could do is attack me for being the one that said it, basically. Shout out to my man Lucius, Bad Mike, Schoolio. You know what I mean? I've been getting a lot of that lately, a lot of stragglers and a lot of strays. He said all type of stuff, like the usual kind of stuff, and I'm like, dude, you just can't address what I said in the video, so you trying to take personal swipes. And where do these people be at when I'm live? Because they seem to know a whole lot about the channel and what I be saying on the channel, but they don't ever be around when I'm live. I had another dude. They always get mad when I point out that Manny ducked Crawford. Yeah, he ducked him. What? It's not complicated. You didn't ask for $40 million to fight Spence, but you did ask for $40 million to fight Crawford. Before that, your own trainer said, yeah, that fight concerns me. The dude trainer said that. There's enough evidence there that I don't need to keep going over it. You're just mad that I'm pointing it out. If you don't want me to point it out, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to not point it out to spare your feelings or your fandom. I don't care about either. Flotex in the building, Lucius in the building. I love the boxing voice, but I just heard a Spence fan say him losing was a fluke. Man, I don't bother with people like that, bro. I don't even bother with people like that, to be real with you. I don't. You could keep being in denial until the next time it's time for him to do something. And that's when I'm going to pop up to see what you really believe. If you're stupid enough to believe what you claim you believe. I don't like talking to people like that, bro. I really don't. Matter of fact, Lucius, hit the link, bro. I don't like talking to people like that. If you notice, I honestly try to stay away from a lot of boxing fans. I honestly do. Because there's a place for that, for that kind of fandom. It's in the gate receipts or the pay-per-view bars. That's where that level of fandom better services the sport. But other than that, I'm not going to be arguing with you about stupid ass shit you think. I'm not. Like, bro, you could think whatever you want. Long as you know I was right and you were wrong. You picked Spence to win. I picked Crawford. In the end, which one of us was right? Not you. You could rationalize it however you want after the fact. All I know is for 5 years, I said that was going to happen. I said that. That's all that matters. Results is all that matters. If you still making excuses for that dude that still ain't come back yet, I don't know. I don't think you can be helped personally. I don't think you can be helped. And I don't want to help you either. I don't want to help you. What I say on this channel is not for you. It's about you, but it's not for you because I know you a lost cause. You can't be helped. Kamikaze, you already know, bro. You got it. Yeah, for real, bro. I'm antisocial on social media. I'm not even playing. Because social media is an unnatural environment that mixes personalities that would not otherwise mingle with each other based on commonality. However, the commonality of boxing is not enough for me to waste time on some of these people. It's not. Like, nah, you just dumb, bro. You just dumb. Like the 38 Alpha S dude. That dude watches every video I post and don't learn a goddamn thing. He don't learn nothing. I don't think he can learn. Like on some for real, like, yeah, I don't know what you got going on upstairs, bro. You can't learn. It's not possible for you to learn things. Even when all the legwork has been done for you, you are still unable to process the information because you're all about how you feel. I told you, I say it almost every other live. I hate emotional people. They're useless. They're like children in adult bodies. No impulse control. No hierarchy of thought. No rationale. Not good for nothing, dog. Not good for nothing. Not good at nothing. You know? Yeah, he's immune to learning, bro. Y hay mucha gente así. Hay muchísima gente así. They're all about their emotions. Lo que ellos sienten en el momento. That's how they live. That's how they, and that's why they are the way they are and where they are, you wasting your time talking to people like that, I try not to. I stay away from them, dog. I had a couple of jump. Shout out to my man Willie Lynch for the $10 Cash App donation to the Chinese Beer Fund of Sweden. This will go towards a Chinese beer fund on you, to me. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to my man Al Money. Appreciate you, bro. You ain't had to do that, but you did it, and every little bit counts. I appreciate all of y'all that rock out with me here on the channel. Because I've been saying it from the beginning. This channel is not for everybody. It's not. It's not even my goal to be the biggest. No, because I know that most people are not that bright. So a lot of what I say is going to go over their head. I don't want to waste no time on them. This is for like-minded individuals that are critical thinkers. That's why the channel only really appeals to certain people. The rest of the world is full of dummies. Let them be dumb. The problem with the dummies is, though, you know what it is? They want to hang around us. I ain't worried about what so-and-so, and I don't care, bro. I do not care. I am in my lane, chilling. I am chilling. Shout out to my man King Lopez. I'm seeing lots of channels saying Shakur duck tank. Lots of channels. And giving Shakur 5 million is going to create lots of issues. Well, you got to understand something. It's a mob mentality with a lot of those channels. They get to a narrative or saying something that sounds good in their head, and they think that by repeating it, it validates the idea. Once again, these are not smart people. The smartest thing you can do is stay away from them. That's the smartest thing you could do. You can't rationalize and reason with people that are willing to lie to themselves to promote or propagate anything. Esa es la clase de gente that do that shit, bro. Shakur duck. How is Shakur duck and Tank? Did Tank make Shakur an offer? Anywhere in between the last fight Shakur had and now, Gervonta Davis is the A-side fighter. He don't want to deal with Turkey, and he don't want to go to Saudi. So at any point in between Shakur's last fight and now, did Gervonta make him an offer? Everybody knows the answer. Shout out to my man Brim. Jules is right even when he's wrong. I'm always right, bro. The thing is, it's not my goal to be right. It's my goal to be righteous. Righteous. The truth is a weapon. The truth. You know this, Brim. You feel it in your spirit. Your espíritu. The truth is a weapon. The truth is a sword. You know what I'm saying? It's a sword. to cut through the bullshit. Shout out to my man JX. Shakur, Cordina pay-per-view, but B-Vol versus Better Be Free. Guess this didn't take long for Turkey to go back to business as usual. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I really try to stay away from a lot of conversations and stay away from a lot of types of people, not just in this YouTube boxing sphere and the boxing sphere of social media, but in a very general sense. That's literally how I conduct my day-to-day comings and goings. My wife knows it that, yeah, I don't like dealing with people. The less people I deal with, the better. Assignments and things that need to get done are probably better left to less people than more. More people complicate things with their stupidity and their emotions. I don't like people. Very, very low opinion of them. Least of all when they go out of their way to follow everything I do and say on social media just to get butt hurt when it doesn't align with what they believe. When, hey, genius, you came here. Remember? And why do you keep coming here? Oh, right, because I keep being right about everything I'm saying. If I were wrong 80% of the time, if I were wrong 90% of the time, you wouldn't come here. For what? All I'm going to do is give you bad intel. If I were wrong, the reason you come here is because I'm usually right. You're just mad that I'm right. And you call it arrogant for me to point it out. Well, is there a nicer way for me to say that I'm usually right and you're usually wrong? Is there a nice way for me to say that? You want me to say it nicer? Well, I don't got my soundboard, so I don't know how we gonna work that out. You know? They call that arrogance. The dude that wrote me a 7-page letter earlier on the video I did about Boots and Crawford. Dude left me a 7-page letter to not address the subject. It's crazy out here, Jason.
I don't understand it, Jules. Like, you're just sitting here giving an opinion on Twitter, and then they just go, I don't agree with you. I'm going to write an essay about how I don't agree with you.
The weirdest thing is that the video is about Boots and Crawford, and you know how I like to do the thing. I like to do a deep dive, to go all the way back to see what things were, what things are, get the screenshots, get the audio. You know how I like to do the thing. And it seems to me that the video bothered the person enough that they couldn't address what I showed in the video because it's all a matter of fact. So what they do is they take personal swipes. Per usual. Yeah. Per usual. Mr. T said, besides the misplay of putting Shakur behind a paywall, if he manages to get 3-0 on bad performances, he is truly boned. I was gonna say cursed, bro. That's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, if he has another stinker, bro, if he can't get Cordina out of there, bro, he is cursed, bro. All right, he can't afford another one like that, man. So are you gonna? So this is a hot topic. A lot of people are talking about this. Jason, are you gonna buy that undercard?
No.
Villain, are you gonna buy that undercard?
No, I'm not.
I think it was such a horrible idea of them to do it that way, dog. It makes no sense.
Let me interrupt you real quick. I got a quick question. So they're gonna make you buy the undercard and they're gonna give away the main fight for free, or you're gonna buy them separate? How's it work?
No, you get Better Beef B-Vault as part of your regular ESPN subscription. No additional charge. It's like a regular fight.
You're telling me they're gonna show one of the most anticipated fights of the year for free? But if you want to watch, I mean, let's be honest, as hardcore boxing fans, we want to see some of those fights, at least some of them pique our interest. But the common casual fan, there's not a lot of meat on the bone for them to pay $80 to watch that.
I already said that for a British audience, that's a quasi-strong card. Because if you think about it from a British perspective, you're getting Wortley versus Clark, and you're getting Better Beef versus B-Vol as a package. That's value for money. You're getting a side order of Eubank, a side order of Ben Whitaker, and Raven Chapman versus Sky Nicholson for those who like to watch the ladies. So if you're in Britain, it's value for money. That's a good card. because in all likelihood, Sky was going to bill Wortley versus Clark as a pay-per-view anyway. They were probably going to do that anyway. So the fact you get better B versus B Vol with it, that's value for money. But to an American audience, nah, dog, y'all bugging. Like, nah, y'all can't. And what's it gonna cost? I don't know what the price point is yet. I don't know. I hope it's like $40 or something.
I will not pay $40 for any fight Shakur is a part of. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it.
No, I mean, I can't blame anybody who's looking at that card here in America based on how many times we have to pay for a pay-per-view and what we pay for a pay-per-view versus what the rest of the world pays or doesn't pay. It's insane, bro. Like it really is crazy, you know?
Especially when the fight I most want to see in that I'm getting for free. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, like I'm gonna buy it. You know me. I'm an idiot. I'm gonna buy it, because I really do want to see Nicholson versus Chapman. I do want to see Wortley versus Clark too. I could live without Chris Eubank. I don't care about him. I like Jai Opataya. I like watching him destroy these guys. So I'm gonna get it. I am. But I understand if a lot of Americans are just tired right now, bro. Like, yo, dog, y'all ask for a pay-per-view every other month, bro. Sometimes twice a month. Like next month.
Jules, this is on, sorry to interrupt, this is on English time too, right? So this is like dead in the middle of the day. This is not even like a United States PM fight. So you're asking the United States audience to fight. Let's be honest, a lot of those guys on that card are not well known. Shakur being the biggest known for the average casual fan, you're going to ask them to pay probably anywhere between $50 and up to watch boxing at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's also probably going to be, probably a really good NFL or NCAA football card going on too.
Honestly, yeah. And basically, if you think about what it really is, Shakur was a fighter. You didn't have to pay pay-per-view to see him. What, now you do? Think about how crazy that is, dog. You didn't used to have to pay pay-per-view to see Shakur not but a few months ago. But now you do.
And it's not even that good of a fight. It's a guy coming up in weight and got knocked out in his last fight. You want me to pay for that? No, I'm good.
To me, it's insanity. I really don't know what they're thinking. What I thought they were going to do was they would make it part of the regular schedule in America. That's what I thought they would do, that you can use this to bolster subscriptions in America if it's not a pay-per-view, because any way you slice it, there's already a paywall there that if you want to see this, you have to subscribe to DAZN. You've gone ahead and added another paywall that makes it even more expensive. That doesn't make sense. Like, Eddie should know. Eddie, maybe Turkey doesn't know, but Eddie should know. They're like, yeah, dog, Americans ain't gonna buy this. You bugging. They're not gonna buy this, bro.
Especially when one of your main selling points to American audiences is Shakur, and he's coming off of back-to-back stinkers.
Yeah, I mean, what is there for an American boxing fan? Eddie's been in America long enough that he should know this is a tough sell, bro. And you're trying to split. At this point, you're trying to squeeze blood out of a grape, basically. Shout out to Luis Puente. Just because I got it don't mean I'm coughing it up. I dig it. I ain't even mad at you, Luis. I like I said, at this point, I see what Gary Jonas was talking about with Turkey a little bit, but it's just that you can't put it on Turkey. This environment that we're in was created by the PBC. Yes, this environment that we're in, this proliferation of pay-per-views that every month there's a pay-per-view, that actually started with them. Thank credit to Bob Arum and Top Rank for sticking to their guns and giving this one to us. No additional charge, dog. Better B versus Bevo. I've been waiting all my life for that. Real G says Shakur should be fighting 4 times a year because I don't want to see 6-7 months to see another poor performance. Yeah, that's another thing, that the span in between fights is another thing. That kid should be fighting more often so he could be sharp more often. Maybe he would get more knockouts if he weren't fighting just 2 times a year. I don't know, but something has to give, man. Shout out to Jonathan. Very tough sell for Hearn. First show with Shakur. You got that shit right, bro. And we'll see if it leads to a Zepeda fight, because what they're saying is this is supposed to be a segue to a Zepeda fight. I'm still not confident that William, or that Oscar, I should say, is going to go through with that. I'm still not.
Why is Shakur becoming the most avoided fight? Tank doesn't want to fight him. Loma doesn't want to fight him. You got
It's
Zapata
a
now
bad
doesn't want to
style
fight him.
matchup. He's a spoiler. He's in that category of spoiler. There are spoilers out there. There are guys that they'll make you look bad. Shakur is one of those guys. Now, whether you enjoy his style of fighting or not, what you have to acknowledge is he is very good at what he does. That doesn't mean you like it or I like it, but he is very good at what he does, and that's why people stay away from him
Right,
because
but they
he's good
want,
at what
but
he
someone
does.
is going to want that scalp on the resume, though. That's a good scalp to have, regardless of how boring of a fight he would be, or a bad style matchup.
Not if they
Rigondeaux,
have
brother.
alternatives. Not if they have alternatives. I mean, if you look at Errol and what he did for 6 years, he had alternatives to stay away from Crawford. And, that worked up until it didn't. So the guys out there that have alternative, namely Javante Davis, he's going to use Rayo likely as an alternative. He can live without fighting Shakur. That's what he tells himself. And that's what they tell themselves. We can live without fighting this one guy. Even if the Shakur fight is bigger than a Rayo fight, for example, we get safe money with Rayo, though. Money we don't have to worry about. It may not be as much as we get with him, but we don't have to worry about that money. We don't have to worry about that fight. So that's the fight we're going to have.
And also, take a look at Rigondeaux. Like, that's a scalp that people would like to have from a credibility standpoint. But even if you beat him, he's going to make you look bad. Shakur is the same thing. Even if you're good enough to beat him, you're going to look bad.
Yeah, I mean, look at Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz. Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg. They basically sought refuge from Rigo with each other. They all did like a round circle jerk robin thing. Carl fought Scott, then he fought Leo 2 times. None of them wanted to fight Rigo, so here we are.
Yeah, but that sucks because then we don't get to see the fights we want, and then they're just fighting, different tomato cans, and that includes, Shakur, and it's annoying.
Yeah, but that's just the American boxing scene, bro. Like you know that I harp on about this endlessly. That the other guys from other nations have pride. They have pride. What's compelling Fabio to really fight Frazier again? Because he doesn't have to. He could have went another direction. He doesn't have to fight that specific dude again. It's pride, bro. Like, nah, I ain't no bitch. We could do that again. I'm not no bitch. We could do that shit again. Next, motherfucker. It's pride, bro.
Is somebody
No.
snoring?
Somebody's got like an inhaler situation going on. They're going, all that noise
Being
is.
sucked into a vortex or something, another time dimension.
Yeah,
Tonight from the Twilight
people,
Zone.
people coming in here with breathing problems. Like, yo, situate your breathing problems first, bro. Boxing.
Bro's got a CPAP on when he's trying to talk boxing.
He's trying to talk to us from an iron lung, bro. But yeah, like I think it's pride, bro. If you look at AJ didn't have to fight Daniel. He doesn't have to worry about the IB. None of this stuff that he's doing are things that he has to do. It's pride, bro. They're like, yeah, I'm not a bitch. We could go. We could fight. I want to be in a big fight. You want to be in a big fight? Then let's have it. As the English say, let's have it. They don't use the H. Whereas here, everybody trying to be like a pseudo businessman. It's business. It's about the business. You sound like a fucking idiot. Bunch of idiots. Go my man Leo Santa Cruz from Chile.
Don't
I
you
got a
ever
question.
call me like that. Don't you ever fucking call me like that.
But nah, man, yeah. It's such a counterintuitive move to make that a pay-per-view. I just don't understand. Like, Turkey maybe doesn't know the American market that well yet. He hasn't been here that long. But Eddie Hearn should know, like, dog, you cannot bill that as a pay-per-view, dog. Nobody's gonna buy
But
it.
Eddie Hearn has to try though. He has to try to make him a pay-per-view star.
Yeah, but that's not how you do it, bro. Eddie's formula for making stars, for example, Eddie knows how to make a star. He's doing that currently with Johnny Fisher. And if Conor Benn hadn't have got popped, he was on his way to being a star. He already did it with Anthony Joshua. He already did it with Katie Taylor. He knows what he's doing, but it just feels like a lot of people are just going with the flow of Riyadh without offering insights that, look, Turkey, you want to reinvigorate the sport of boxing. You want to stimulate that economy. The real way to do that, yes, it's good to make the big fights that are hard to make, like Fury versus Usyk or Better Be versus Bivol. It is good to do that. But the real meat and potatoes of boxing is in the regular schedule, because those are the fights that we watch throughout the calendar year. Those are the fights that most people watch throughout the calendar year, the regular schedule. You put all this stuff behind a paywall, dog, like, yeah, you just gonna get a lot of piracy out of that. That's it. You can get a lot of piracy. You know, got to build
You
the
know,
stars of the good.
if it wasn't for Tio fucking up, I would say ESPN would have had a good year.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that, because I like Better Be versus Smith earlier this year. That was this year, for those that don't remember, when he beat the hell out of Callum Smith.
Yep.
With Better Be versus Bivol, that's another welcome addition. What was another strong regular fight that they had?
I
Regular
like
fight.
The Leo versus Venado. That was the one I was really
Oh
into.
yeah, yeah, that was a really good fight. That was a really good fight. Yeah, I agree. And some of the better fights that we've seen this year, like Estrada versus Bam, that was a great fight. That was a regular fight, and that was just a great fight. That's not to say that some of the bigger fights weren't good too, because I thoroughly enjoyed Matchroom versus Queensberry, even though I got most of my picks wrong. But I enjoy that. That was a fun card. Like, every fight was fun, or most of them. They were fun. And obviously, I enjoyed Fury versus Usyk. I just think there's a time and a place for pay-per-views, and at this point, it's just being abused to satisfy the egos of the fighters, and what they want, what they think they want, that they're not good for. Shakur, I'm sorry, you're not a $5 million fighter. I'm sorry, but no, you're not. You bugging. That's too much. So
I
that,
think
Didn't
part
he
of the
also say fuck the fans? I remember. Didn't Shakur say fuck the fans or something like that?
you said some shit like that.
Yeah, he did. So it's gonna be a hard sell.
I mean, fuck him too, then. But like, I think part of the problem with Eddie thinking that Eddie moving like this with Shakur is that at this point Shakur should be farther along than he is, like in
Well,
terms of
some of
fan
no, no,
appeal.
I mean, no, I mean, I'm gonna be fair to Shakur. I'll be fair in this sense. Beat said it, and it's true. Everything was going well up until he got to 135. Kind of like how everything was going well for Terrence up until he got to 147. When it became about having to deal with other people's fighters, that's where the problem started. Well, for Shakur, that's kind of where it's at. That Davis fight, forget it. Now, the Lomachenko fight is a fight that you should be able to get, but Loma don't want to do it with you, bro. Whether you guys want to chastise him for that, I'll leave that up to you. But Loma did have a choice: Cambosos or Shakur. He chose Cambosos. Can't blame Shakur for that. Like, how? How is that his fault?
It's
You
not,
know?
but I got to see Loma beat up Cambosos, and that was funny.
No,
So
I mean, like I said, I'm not saying that you couldn't have enjoyed the Cambosos fight. I enjoyed that ass whooping. I liked it. Like, I had fun. But if we look at Shakur's situation objectively and say, well, what's the problem? There are things that we can't blame him for. We can't blame him for George choosing Loma and Loma choosing George. We can't blame him for that. We can't blame him that Isaac didn't want to fight him when he was ordered to fight him. We can't. And we can't blame him for Javante, because, hey, Javante, if you're the pay-per-view star and you're the A side, then the onus to make the offers and make it happen is on you. Y'all playing some kind of weird ass game where he's the A side, but Shakur got to do what then? If he's the A side and he don't want to go to Saudi and he don't want to deal with Turkey, I think you make it happen, Mr. A side. But we still gonna get mad at Shakur, or people are getting mad at Shakur. Some of it is not his fault. As boring as he is, a lot of this stuff is not his fault.
like
You
I
know?
get that, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, they're not going to fight you. Move up.
I guess. I mean, that's another way to look at it. Do you agree with that, Leo? Do you think he should just say fuck it, go to 140?
To one. No.
No?
No, don't do that. That's dangerous.
No, no, because there is money to be made there. If you have the sponsor of Turkey, take advantage of that. Have a couple of fights. for me, the problem isn't that the guys are not fighting him, because I had the feeling that that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
This guy is not very marketable. He doesn't have a fun style, so people are gonna dog him. But
Yeah.
you need to have a career still, and you're not gonna entice anyone. And anyway, maybe if you move up 147, maybe.
No, I mean,
Maybe
like,
Jared Put Ennis is gonna be
no
happy to
one.
fight.
We can
But
say move up. We can say that, okay, move up, but that's just a blanket statement because move up to fight who, bro? Who, Richardson Hitchens? You want to sit through that? I don't. Could you imagine that fight, dog? People will slip into a comatose state.
no, for me, the move will be something like this: wait a little bit, and let the things on 140 clear themselves. Maybe have a unified champion, maybe a three-belt holder, and then you move up and you challenge him. But
That's a good point.
you're gonna try to fight every fucking chip. It's gonna be the same fucking thing.
No, I mean, even the point I'm making is it's like what they said about Boots, that I see a lot of people saying that Boots should just leave 147. And it's like they're not realizing, okay, two of the belts are at the PBC. Two of the belts are at the PBC. It's not like you're going to get a Fundora a Fundora fight easy, or a Tim Zoo fight easy, or a Spence fight easy. Now you guys are saying he should move up because you think he wants Crawford. All the evidence that's out there says no, he don't want Crawford. But that's why y'all keep saying that he should move up. It's not good advice, in other words. And with Shakur, it's like, okay, well, if he moved up, what fights would he have access to? Prograis, Cordina, because you're not getting Alberto Puello. You're not. You're not getting Teofimo. You're not. You're not gonna get Rolandio Romario. You're not. You're not gonna get Isaac. So you move up. Well, okay, to do what? To fight Jack Catterall?
Yeah, one of the most boring fights ever made.
I'm telling you, people will slip into a comatose state watching that shit. And they're both good fighters, but styles really do make fights. They really do. And I want to see fun fights. That is not a fun fight.
No,
It's
but
just, like,
it'll save you on NyQuil though.
it's a Valium, bro. You know what I mean? Think about Puello and Sandor Martin, bro. That fight scares me how boring it might be. It scares me. I've woken up in cold sweats thinking about that fight. Like if somebody forced me to watch it.
Oh,
It's a
God.
horrible fight, bro.
Uh,
You know.
I hear you guys, but at the same time, it's like then Shakur's only option is to nut up and start beating the shit out of guys, and that's not him.
No, I mean, the other thing about it is that if we were sitting here and the Zepeda fight were next, I don't think any of us would be complaining, right? If the Zepeda fight were next.
No, but it's not.
Will be a good fight.
No, the point I'm making is that at the root of the problem, it's not actually Shakur.
No,
It's not. Because if we saying that if it was Zepeda next, then we would be excited about the fight. Okay, then, well, it's not Shakur's fault that Zepeda's not next, right? If it were Gervonta next, I don't think any of us would be against that, right? If it were Gervonta next, right?
No.
But what's the problem? Well, it's not Shakur's fault. Gervonta doesn't want you, bro. You rather fight Rayo. You rather fight anybody. It's the same story with you. It's tired. But once again, we can't put that on Shakur. How?
I hear you. I agree with you. But when Shakur's in there with these guys who don't belong with him, he doesn't get them out of there. They stick around.
Do you think, wait a minute. Do you think the real reason that these guys don't want to fight him is because he doesn't knock people out?
No, it's because they're scared he's going to make them look bad.
Yeah. In other words, let's make it the polar opposite. Let's say Shakur was breathing fire and shooting lightning out of his ass and lasers out of his eyes. And if you fight him, he'll punch your head clean off your shoulders. Do you think these same guys would want to fight him then?
I don't know, but maybe he will have more fans doing that.
Exactly. He would have more. No, he would have more fans, but they would duck him, a la Gennady Golovkin. Remember him?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but Gennady Golovkin was selling out arenas.
he was selling out arenas, but remember that he was avoided for a very long time. If you look at Golovkin's career as a whole, it seems that he didn't flourish until the tail end of it. We're talking about maybe the last 5 years of his career. That's when things started to happen. Because before that, he was beating the crap out of guys, but that made him avoided. Peter Quillen didn't want to fight him. Eubank didn't want to fight him. Saunders didn't want to fight him. It made him avoided.
At that point, making the comparison with Shakur, it's a little bit different because at that point of his career, Golovkin didn't bring any money. Even if he bring fans, it wasn't the money because there wasn't money in the middleweight division.
Yeah, there wasn't.
After he fought Canelo, yeah, Golovkin clearly started to crash a little bit, to be a little bit diminished. But fighting Golovkin at that point after Canelo, yeah, that bring your money.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. The one who brought the money, and I know this is going to sound weird to people, but the guy who reinvigorated the middleweight division was Miguel Cotto. I know that sounds weird, but it's the talk that was centered around Golovkin Cotto that got attention back on that division. Now, we knew Cotto was not going to fight this fucking guy.
No, he wasn't.
We knew that. Like, we knew then. But the fact that Cotto was there, Canelo is on the eve of moving up, that became a conversation. But Golovkin was all in the mix of that. That is what brought money back to the middleweight division. Because if you think about the middleweight division right before that, there wasn't a lot happening there, bro. What? Daniel Gill, Felix Sturm, Martin Murray, Matthew Macklin, right? Like, what the fuck? What was going on, bro? What was going on?
Exciting lineup,
right? Like,
sometimes I forget that Cotto was fighting at middleweight because he was fighting at super Cotto weight.
He was fighting at super Cotto weight, and they blame Canelo for that. Like, they talk about you idiots. I could tell y'all don't watch boxing. You just argue in boxing groups. The catch weight in that fight was not set by Canelo. It was set by Cotto, Super Cotto weight, 155. You know, shout out to Super Cotto weight. He started that shit. He was the A side. He decided that shit. You know.
Yep. Coming back to Shakur, I don't like the kid. I really don't. For more than one reason, I don't like the kid. But that doesn't check the fact that he's being ducked.
It's being ducked, and being ducked is the problem. That's the problem, and that's why, as boring as he is, Jason, and I know you don't like him, but the problems that he has are not his fault, because whether he's boring or he's dominant, these fighters wouldn't fight him. See, remember, Gervonta doesn't want to fight Shakur, but before him, there was a more exciting fighter in Vasyl Lomachenko, and Gervonta didn't want to fight him either. He didn't. So whether you have a fan-friendly style or you don't have a fan-friendly style, the common denominator seems to be that, dog, you just don't want to fight people who can fight back. You want to fight a certain tier of fighter.
My pushback to that would be, look how people look at Vasily Lomachenko versus how they look at Shakur. If Shakur had a more fan-friendly style, he'd be less easy to dismiss.
I disagree.
That's part of the basis how a lot of the casual fan base, at least, are dismissing him.
Do you know why I disagree with that? Because he was dismissed by Gervonta Davis, and there are people that let him get away with it for 5-6 years. They watched the shit, dog. They saw the same quotes that we did, but they had a different reaction. Oh, he's too young. Oh, we ain't in a rush. That went on for 5 years, bro. So when you say he's not easy to dismiss, hey, man, Gervonta dismissed him. Whether you're entertaining or not, it seems that the real problem is these guys that are at that weight don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. Shout out to the Asian boxing scene, because I don't have that problem with my Japanese boxers, man. I love them dudes, bro.
No,
shout out to... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, country.
I was gonna say, I'm still pulling for Sugar Barroso, though, man. I hope he beats that kid.
No, we're gonna. Sorry to interrupt. When does he fight? When is Sugar Barroso fight?
That's not this week. That's next week. I think, what is it, Wednesday, y'all? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday, Inouye's fight? Because he's on the undercard of Inouye's fight.
Oh, wonderful. I got to get up
Tuesday.
even earlier now.
Tuesday,
It's
it's the 3rd.
Yeah, and
What
that's
time,
another.
though?
But you know what? That's another example of like value for money. We're gonna get to watch an Australian Irish guy get the crap beat out of him very quickly and very violently, all before or during breakfast. That's fucking beautiful, bro. We're gonna get to see the Mummy return to action, bro. Sugar Barroso in Japan, fucking these hoes,
the baddest
fucking shit up.
on the planet.
You know, what's
The
better than
toughest
Sugar Barroso?
65-year-old
What's
out
better
there.
than Sugar Barroso at 7 in the goddamn morning with the Morning Joe, bro? That's a great combination, bro.
Dude, if he sparks that guy out of there like he did that other guy, man, I'm a
Yo, he
die
did
laughing.
O'Hara Davies dirty, bro. Like he really did O'Hara Davies dirty, bro.
He
You know?
had something for him, man. He put the extra spice on just pow.
No, and you
Jay
know
just
what?
hasn't fought since then, has he?
And you know what? Value for money. I don't know how it slipped my mind. Inouye versus Neri. That was value for money. Not a pay-per-view, just a regular fight early in the morning. But I think Top Rank has done a good job of not oversaturating the market, because when you pay attention to where most of the pay-per-views are coming from, they don't do that many. They haven't done that many in the last 5 years. They do way less than the PBC does, and even Matchroom is starting to shell out more pay-per-views than them, bro.
Like, when was the last Top Rank pay-per-view? Loma Haney?
Yeah, I think that was the last one, bro. That was what, a year ago, right? That's been a year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, unless you want unless you want to count Fury versus Usyk, but I don't really count it because it was shared. It was distributed by both ESPN and DAZN, so I don't really count.
That's
you
a
know?
Turkey thing. That's he's his own entity.
Yeah, you know. But they don't do that many, and we are getting solid fights as part of the regular schedule. That maybe somebody needs to sit Turkey down and talk to him that the investment that you want to make would be better suited towards the regular schedule of fights throughout the calendar year, instead of making these big mega shows, because it's the regular fights that create the regular schedule that creates the stars. That's where the fighters develop. That's where you find out about the fighters. We got to go back to a time where putting on a solid fight doesn't cost an arm and a leg, because that's how it used to be. You know, Ward versus Gaddy 1, that was not a pay-per-view, y'all. That was a regular fight. It's a regular fight, dog. And that's a classic. Shit, no. We'll see, man. We'll see. It takes time and innovation.
I don't know about that, because I'm not complaining, because he gave us fights we otherwise wouldn't see, but I'm not sure boxing is actually what Turkey's goal is, and it's not just strictly the whitewashing, which means big fights, big pay-per-views, big spectacles.
I guess, but is it really a big spectacle, Jason, when people aren't buying?
That's true.
Is it? You know? We'll see. Mirage been talking a lot of shit in the comments. Let me shoot his dumb ass a link. That's my dude Mirage.
I dropped
Nikita
the link to him a minute ago. I don't know. Maybe he
Nikita Zoo fought earlier today. Tim Zoo's little brother.
How'd he do?
He did great. They're setting up a fight between him and Michael Zarafa. Zarafa won. You know, he won. He made the guy quit on his stool in the first round. Nikita beat his guy up, so that's the next move for him. It's just hard to understand why. You see how good the audience is in Australia. You know what I mean? That they're supporting their guys. That boxing scene is flourishing, and Tim is fighting a Russian guy in fucking Florida. Well, what's wrong with you, Tim? What is wrong with you, dog? I don't know, man.
Are you going to touch on the mandating of Fundora? Are you going to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, I did a video on it earlier that I uploaded. I don't have a lot more that I can add to it beyond what I said in the video, but you guys can go ahead. Do you think Fundora is going to go through with it?
I think he has to do what Daddy Al tells him to do, but it's career suicide to drop at least one, if not two belts to fight Crawford. I think it's absolutely ridiculous and shows the state that boxing in, if that he's going to avoid that fight and lose belts just to do what Al says he has to do.
But is that saying that you, villain, you don't expect him to fight Crawford? You expect him to drop that belt?
With what the PBC has shown us over the last 5 to 7 years, I absolutely 100% expect him to drop the belt.
Mm. Everybody, round of applause for my man Mirage.
What's up, Mirage?
How you doing, buddy?
Where's the
Hey,
applause,
what's
yo?
up?
I don't.
What's up?
It's fucking
Hey, Jules.
Mirage. Go
Jules,
ahead, Mirage.
why are you capping for Shakur Stevenson? He's
I'm
fucking
not,
boring as
bro.
fuck.
I'm not capping for him. I'm not. Listen, Mirage. I don't have any illusions about how boring that kid is, bro. I agree with all of you that he's boring, but being objective, because we're all adults, we have to say that yeah, the guy is avoided. Because if it were a Williams Zepeda fight, I think we would all be more excited about that. But it's not his fault that William wants to wait till next year. That's not his fault.
Yeah, but the problem is, um, so if he can't fight Cepeda, are you saying he couldn't find anybody at 135 at all to
Well,
fight?
who do you? Well, who? My question to you, Mirage, is okay. We know Javante's out. Lomachenko's sitting out the rest of the year, right? Zepeda's out. Who do you recommend?
Well, first step is anybody at 135 is better than Cordina coming off a KO at
But
130.
name
Well,
somebody
Dina's a
that
mandatory, brother.
Okay,
no, but just
anybody. But if you want to name somebody, what about Muratala, Berenchik?
I don't mind that. I don't mind those names. I would agree that yeah, I would be slightly more enthusiastic about Muratalla than the
But
thing is.
literally
No, but
anybody.
wait a minute. But here's the thing also. Based on the current situation, because this is what's bizarre, you shouldn't we as customers should not end up paying pay-per-view for Stevenson versus Muratalla. You know why? Because Top Rank would have given us that if he stayed over there. You see what I mean?
Well, that is a joke. That's a joke.
Muratalla, in other words, that Muratalla is not really a substitute for a Zepeda fight. I'll go as far as saying that yes, if it were Zepeda, I would be genuinely excited. But if it were Muratalla, bro, that's a regular ESPN fight. That is not a pay-per-view worthy fight. It's just not. It's not.
Well, the point is he's a substitute for Cordina, which that's a waste of a fight. What's the point? We know what's going to happen. He has literally zero chance to win.
I agree.
Zero.
I agree.
So he's
I
going to
agree
go
with
out there, whatever.
the highlight of the two highlights of that undercard that are compelling me to buy it. Two of them are your countrymen and women. I love watching Jayo Pataya beat the hell out of people. It's not his fault Chris Billum Smith copped the plea because that's what Turkey wanted. He wanted Chris Billum Smith in October unification match. According to Chris, he wouldn't be ready on time. His words, right? But you know, I like watching Jai beat the hell out of people. I relish the opportunity to see that. Obviously, I want to see Sky Nicholson versus Raven Chapman, and I'm very excited about Wardley versus Clark. I do like that fight. I love my Brits. Um, but I just know that for an American audience, that there's not enough meat on that bone. It's not. You know, a lot of people are not that open minded. That's basically an international card. Two Australians, couple of Brits, one American. You know, it's not enough meat on that bone.
Yeah, they're all just showcase fights anyway, pretty much.
Oh, Wardley versus Clark isn't a showcase fight. That one isn't. You know that they went balls to the wall when they fought earlier this year. That was a great fight,
Yeah,
dog.
I'd love to see them fight again. That was a damn
Fucking
good
destroyed Fabio's fucking nose, dog. The fact he's going in there with this guy again after that shit, like his nose looked like a tampon most of that fight.
He
But
looked
it
like
was
he looked like Artie Lang after he did all that cocaine and his nose was all destroyed.
yeah. You know, the thing is that though, that fight, as great as it was, you know, because yeah, me and Country, we watch too much fucking boxing. So we catch the little jewels like those. But in a very general sense, you can't bill that as a pay-per-view for Americans, bro. You crazy?
No, they won't go for it.
They won't go for it, bro. You know, but it is what it is, man. What can we do? I'm gonna end up buying it just because, you know, I'm an idiot.
You're a
I'm
degenerate.
I'm a degenerate. I can't help it, you know. But I understand how a lot of Americans are feeling. They're like, yeah, yo, motherfuckers is tired, bro. Next month is two pay-per-views, Canelo's and Anthony's, bro, and Anthony Joshua's. That's crazy. Fuckers is tired.
And the problem with Shakur, this is his second like layup fight it was just one, you can say whatever, but two in a row, that's starting to smell.
Two in a
Starting to stink.
row. Two in a row after two back-to-back shitty performances at that.
Stinkers.
So you go from giving us two stinkers to you get 5 mil. It's like you're rewarding the wrong things. Basically, that's what it feels like. You're rewarding the wrong things. $5 million, you could have made a unification match at featherweight that would have been way better than Stevenson versus Cordina. And this is what I mean, that like, bring back tournaments. Bring a tournament to the featherweight division. Bring a tournament to the super featherweight division. Those fighters in those divisions do not cost as much as Shakur, but the fights will be cheaper and more entertaining, so you'll be able to make more of them. You know? Bring back the World Boxing Super Series, man.
Oh, that would be nice. I would love to see that.
Yeah, you know, you got to bring.
I think Zerto would have a good chance of winning that too, man.
Not against Ja.
That's
not
true.
Against Ja. I mean, like, yeah, I think he'll beat Chris. I think he would beat Chris. That Canadian kid, I don't know, man. He ain't for play. He ain't. He punch hard. He fight hard. That Canadian kid that Gavor about to fight.
What about Jai versus that Canadian kid? That would be a good one.
I mean, the thing is that I think Ja could beat him because Ja don't just punch hard. That's the thing. Ja can box. Ja can move, you know? So I would still pick Ja to beat Ryan Rositsky. But yeah, that's a good-ass fight, dog. It's like it's these other fights in these other divisions that are not as taxing, not as expensive. And the effort should go into making those fights in those divisions instead of coddling these prima donnas. Because I'm sorry, $5 million to Shakur for Cordina. That's criminal, dog.
That's laundering money. They got to be doing something with that cash.
I know, right?
That dude's worth $5 million.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Like, you know, somewhere there's a fucking flyweight starving himself to get that. Make a tournament at flyweight, bro. You know,
make a tournament of flyweights for $1 million, let alone $5 million for this shit.
Or you could pay those guys in airline peanuts. That'd be enough to get them in the ring. They're hungry as shit.
They ought to do like, you know, a World Boxing Super Series for a few different weight classes, man. That would be cool.
I'm so sad when that went tits up. Like, God damn it.
You know, so Fury and Usyk are fighting later on this year. I feel like Fury's probably going to get knocked out. How many of you guys agree with that sentiment?
I think it's more likely this time it'll happen because he's going to be more reckless. His ego will get in the way. I mean, obviously he got beat with the knockdown. He got embarrassed. He wants to go in there for blood. Usyk is too surgical. He's going to knock him out.
So if most of you agree with the sentiment that Fury may lose worse in the rematch, where does that leave this Joshua fight that they're so hell bent on making? Do they still make that fight if Fury loses again?
No.
Yes, because they both
cash
lost
grab. Massive cash grab. Of course, they'll make the fight.
You think that Fury would like there would be enough of him to bring to a Joshua fight because he'd be coming off a loss?
I don't. I think if he loses to Usyk a second time, he'll retire. He'll be like.
It'll depend how much they offer him. I mean, irregardless, maybe not in the United States or less than worldwide, but in the UK, that is a massive fight.
It's a massive. The thing is, it's not the marquee value, villain, because I agree with you. Even if he lost to Usyk for a second time, Joshua versus Fury is still huge. It is. It's his mental state that I'm looking at. That, you know, this guy loses again. He's not the strongest guy mentally, you know. He's not. Will he be in any condition to go in there and fight Joshua?
I think there's a stronger chance of him retiring with a win over Usyk than a loss because, and it's for the same reason you guys think it won't happen, his ego. His ego won't let him end his boxing career on a loss. So he'll get in there with a big fight to try and get a win.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know, Fury is known for rising to the occasion once in a while. Maybe he might do something this time around. I'm not saying he will, but
I guess. I mean, I guess, but that really applies to, you know, if you see the Klitschko fight, that's not how I would describe rise. You know, like he rose to the occasion. No, he fenced and fiddled and farted his way to a decision. That's how he won. It wasn't.
I
You
think
know what?
Give
Look,
him
Buddy
a little
versus
credit.
Creed.
Give him a little credit. The one time someone was hurt in that fight, it was Klitschko for like 5 seconds.
Go ahead, Mirage.
You guys are writing off Fury way too easily. I mean, if it wasn't for that knockdown, wouldn't he have won that fight on the cards?
I'm. You
I'm
know what
not.
the thing? No,
He's
Mirage.
got
Mirage.
but
Mirage. Here's the thing. That logic doesn't work for me because I'm just looking at what happened, not the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm just looking at what happened. What
Okay,
happened
let's
is
talk about what happened.
he's
He,
all right.
he
No, hold on. All right, let's talk about what happened. As soon as you started stepping into your punches, you got caught. Because that's what happened. In the 8th round, off of all the success you had been building, you start getting ballsy, stepping into your punches, and you got your nose broke. In the ninth
so
round, you threw some combinations and you got countered. That's what
so what
happened.
happened? What happened is after adjusting and dominating the middle rounds, boxing beautifully, he got reckless. Now I
I
can think
disagree with that. You call it
he got
reckless. I
caught.
don't call it reckless. The thing is, as long as he was hanging back, the rounds that he was losing, right? The ones he was losing was because he was hanging back and he wasn't doing enough. Just moving around, moving lateral, staying on the perimeter. He wasn't doing enough. So he starts having success. And when he tries to build on the success he was having, because he was landing punches from the middle leading up to the 8th, he's landing punches, the hard punches. But as you try to put them together now, you try to put 2-3 punches together now you're getting countered, which goes back to what I said. The sooner you start in this second fight, and I think he's going to try to start earlier. He's not going to fuck around. The sooner you start, the sooner you get caught again because you're not faster than this guy. You're
Look,
faster than slow big men. You're not faster than this guy.
that can definitely happen, But I can also see he's showed enough sustained ability to box in that fight that I think he has the capability to avoid that and box intelligently from the outside and win. Like he has a chance to do that as well.
So you're
I
so
wouldn't just
you're
write him
so
off.
you're going so you're going to
No,
go
no,
with Fury.
Usyk is the favorite,
Come
but to
on.
me, it's still a close fight.
Come on, Mirage. You're Australian. Show some fucking cock and balls, bro. You just fucking
It's a
pussy ass pick. No, Usyk, but Fury, but no.
because
Usyk
it's a
only
close fight.
loses if Fury wins. So where you
Um,
going with, bro?
Who am I going with? I'm going for. I'm choosing Usyk to win, but it's going to be a close competitive fight. I don't think he's just going to go in there and knock him out. I think that's unlikely, very unlikely.
I think you're taking it too literal, Mirage. All I'm telling could it be a close fight? No, I didn't say it couldn't. I didn't say that. But I'm saying that this time I do think he goes out. That's what I'm saying. That this time I think he goes out.
See, Mirage,
Okay, I
Because
think it's a 60-40. I think it's 60-40 to me still. So, I mean,
Mirage, I would agree with you that I think Fury has the ability to do that. But think of what the major problem is. What was Fury saying and talking up all the way to the fight? Oh, he's a little guy. He doesn't belong in the ring with me. I'll spark him out. Sooner or later, he's gonna get run into the same problem. What's this little dude doing in the ring with me? I'll spark him out. He'll go on the front foot, and he's gonna get countered again. Like I can see it in my eye. Like, God damn it.
What I see.
well, maybe he's learned his lesson.
It's just that there are some things. I feel like there are some things. Like I think people think of boxing as not having limits, and yeah, there are limits, bro. So you were trying to compound on the success you were having, that you were getting in with good singles, good body shots, and good uppercuts. So you see your punches are landing. Now you try to build on that. You tried to put 2 and 3 punches together in the 9th round, for example. You got caught. Before that, in the 8th round, you got caught in between the punches with a shot to the nose. That if you try to build on your success, you're going to get caught. If you try to step into your jab, throw combinations, yeah, you're going to get caught. But if you hang back and move around, oh, you're going to get outworked. Because those rounds you were doing that, you were losing. You were losing. You had to start showing offense to win rounds. And that was working until you got caught.
To beat Usyk, I think he's going to have to do the same thing he did with Klitschko all over again. And I don't think he has A, the youth, or B, the patience to do that again.
I don't think he's in the physical condition to do that again. Yeah, Usyk's a year older, but Usyk takes care of himself. You don't. And you're built like a sack of laundry on top of a bar stool. Your balance is poor. I've always thought Fury has poor balance. As nimble as he has poor balance, which is why he's been knocked down so many times. You're built like a sack of laundry on a patio chair.
Yeah, and somebody that size, like early 30s, is like really 40. His body is like 40 age-wise. The joints
Yeah,
and the weight and all that.
when you look at his legs, and I don't want you guys to look at his legs, but you have to consider the amount of weight those legs are carrying. That he's not a sturdy heavyweight with a solid. Most of the weight on Fury is in the trunk. His legs are really skinny. His ankles are really skinny. That's hard on the joints, bro. And you tack on the cocaine and the alcohol. Well, that just makes it worse, bro. So I don't see him winning the second fight.
Julius, can I tell you something? I had a dream about that fight.
Was it a wet dream?
Kind of.
Oh, God.
I had a dream. It was Usyk and Fury in the ring. And Usyk was outworking him, moving side to side. And then, for a moment, it bends over, and Fury throws a right uppercut, and Usyk falls flat on his back. But he gets up, and that was the dream ends.
I got a quick question. Not to steal the thunder, but did you just ask a grown man if he had a wet dream?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard that clearly. It
Just
reminds
for
me-
comic relief, because things were getting a little bit too serious. It was getting too heavy in here.
Hey, Leo,
Leo.
can I ask Leo? Leo, do you still dream about Canelo beating David? I'm just curious.
Oh,
I still
boy.
think I think
What?
Canelo. Listen, Mirage. I think Canelo beats David even more now. Like before, I was only like 99.1% sure. Now I'm like 99.5% sure.
What, in your dreams, Jewel? That doesn't count, though. We know that.
No. While I'm
You gotta
awake,
get in the ring, man.
Oh, here we go.
not in my dreams. While I'm awake, in my waking
Oh.
eyes, my
With like
waking.
fantasies, we call them fantasies, I guess, or something.
I get a chubby when I think about that fight, man.
Oh.
It's a nice chubby, no, but honestly, I don't think the door is closed, man, because I don't think David's gonna fight the winner of Better Be versus Bivol. I don't think he's gonna do
I heard
that.
you say that, Jules. So you're confident in that? Are you confident in that position?
Somewhat, because look, Samson, I don't think Samson even wants to be part of that Saudi scene, man. I
Because I was going to
literally
suggest.
don't.
I was going to suggest putting some cash up. A bit of a friendly wager on that. If you're interested.
Yeah, I mean, if they make it, but you know me and bets, bro. People owe me money. I haven't even been paid yet.
I know, man.
Yeah, but if I were you, you can just ban me off this off your.
I don't get
channel.
anything out of banning you. If I wanted to ban you, I could ban you right now. What does that give me, dog?
Nothing.
No, but it's
Get
incentive
anything
for
out
me to
of
pay
that?
you if I lose.
I'm tired of being the honorable one. I want my money up front. Fuck that
Anyway,
shit.
Jules, David's definitely going to fight the winner. I
You
can
think so?
guarantee, my personal guarantee, he's going to fight if he's
how
given the
much does your
chance.
word? How much?
We
how
had
much
your
weight does
guarantee that he'd knock out Vojnik.
How much weight does your word carry, though?
No comment.
Josh?
What was that?
How much weight does your word carry, though?
Carries a lot, man. I got a serious reputation on these streets, in case you haven't noticed.
Shout out to these streets, yo.
You're talking about like did your machine break again? Is that why we're not getting any relief with the machine?
Yeah, man, my fucking
motherfucker broke.
soundboard. I don't know. No, because sometimes this is why I used to hate dealing with audio equipment. Sometimes it'll be the equipment, and sometimes it'll be something small like the cord you're using. So I have to set aside a time to figure out what's wrong now.
Christ and ass. You kidding me? Who's running the top stand? What are we doing here?
Speaking of which,
Oh,
time to be the
shit.
bearer of bad news. Rest in peace, professional wrestler Sid Vicious, man. Died from
Sid
cancer.
died, man?
Yep.
Died of
That was
cancer.
sad to hear that. Yeah, that was sad to hear that. What a
Do
legend,
you know
man.
how
Yeah,
old
it
that
really
makes
was.
Yo, I get so scared now when I see those things, man, because it makes me feel old, and I don't feel old. Like I can literally still climb up the side of a building without any ropes or anything.
Oh, like Spider-Man. Hey, I got
Yeah.
one that'll make you guys feel old, dead serious. So 2 weeks ago, I was down with my buddy. We were going to go see a concert. 45 years of age, he had a massive stroke. at 45 years of age, man.
Damn,
Still in the
Man, I'm
still in the
sorry, dude.
hospital fighting right now. So one of my best
God,
friends in the
man.
world.
We'll
I'll
pray
So
pray
for
for
him.
that. I'll pray for him, man. Like,
please
well,
do.
does he take care of himself? Like, how did he have a stroke, bro?
No, dude. I guess you know how it is with guys. We're not. It's not like I'm coming on this live and ask everybody what their blood pressure's at, and if you guys are running enough or drinking enough water. Those are not conversations you generally have with friends. But I guess his blood pressure had been high for the past couple of years, and like most dudes, he's just kind of dismissed it. And we're sitting there in a casino lobby waiting for this concert to start. Bro has a massive stroke right in front of my eyes.
Oh man.
Dude's a year younger than me, man. It puts everything in perspective. So.
I
Bro,
mean,
Yeah.
I'll say this. I know that I don't advise anybody to do what I do because I don't think most people have the habit to do what I do. But I literally exercise every day. What I need to incorporate is cardio because I don't do cardio. I hate running in a very general sense,
Bro,
but
it can happen more than just blood pressure and all that. I mean, look at the boxers when they get brain bleeds. That can
yeah,
cause a
bro, but
stroke.
that's from blunt force trauma, bro. That's because those guys are getting punched in the head.
But there's also
Unless
conditions like there's a condition called angiomas cavernoma, and they can be on your brain and shit. It's like a cave-like malformation of blood cells that clumps together and the walls weaken. And if it's in the back of your brain somewhere and it leaks or pops, you have a bleed, and there's no room for bleeding in your brain, and it causes a hemorrhagic stroke.
Bro, that happened with me with my ex-wife, my bank account. It like my bank account exploded because she was hemorrhaging money off of it. You're not lying, dude. It's some shit you got to pay
no, yeah.
attention to.
No,
Listen,
that's real though, dude. For real, that's real.
I got into the habit, and I'm not gonna say I just got into the habit because I've kind of always been this way. I do things in cycles, I would say. That I'm just on a health kick, or for lack of a better word, a health kick, because it just makes you feel better, and your food, if you're exercising, especially if you're lifting weights, it's better for you. You're all over, but it's just I do need the running. I probably should start running. I don't like running. I hate that shit.
Well, just walk
Yeah,
treadmill.
maybe I'll do that. I generally don't like running.
The
If
moral of
you
the
just
story is,
if you just like walk or light jog for like maybe 30 minutes a day, you're fine.
Shout out to my man Anthony for the $5 donation to the Chinese Beer Fund of Austria. Appreciate that, bro.
Sorry, villain.
But
Go ahead, man.
no,
yeah,
I just said
because
the point. The point is, you guys
but wait a minute.
take care of yourselves.
Yeah, because I want to be like RFK, bro. That dude is fucking massive, bro, and he's like 70, bro. Looks fucking fantastic for a 70-year-old, bro.
Well, just get random worms in your brain, and then you'll look like him.
That did happen.
Fucking Jason, man.
Oh
And
shit,
that dude's
man.
got what is that condition he has with his voice where he sounds like he just sucked 10 cocks like in a row? What is that condition? How do
I
I
was going to
avoid
say
that?
smoke a lot of cigarettes, but 10
I don't
cocks, you
know.
say?
Oh, he sounds like he needs
He sounds like Katharine Hepburn, man.
sounds like the check engine light is on, is what he
Yeah.
sounds like, dog. Like, but he looks great though. He looks
Yeah,
great.
it's true.
Oh shit, man. But yeah, like I just think one of the things that I've always noticed about old people, and it's a well-known fact, that men tend to lose muscle tone after I think it's age 35. So everything in the human body is basically use it or lose it. If you're not using those muscles for strenuous activity, you're gonna lose them, So you gotta get out there, you gotta lift some weights, you gotta punch some people in the face and feel good, man. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but Bushi says that walking helps. He says he went from 279 to 175 with exercise and yes, cardio.
Yeah, man. No, cardio is good because it's. I mean, when you think about what it is, it's not dissimilar from taking care of a car. Like it's not that different. Like there's general upkeep and maintenance and changing the calipers and all the stuff. You got to do all your shit.
What was that?
And
That Body Machine by Schoolhouse Rock? Remember that?
the body machine.
Yeah, by Schoolhouse Rock. It was about taking
Yeah, I
care
remember
of your body.
Schoolhouse. I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock, but I don't remember the
What
body machine.
I'm a
hard
machine.
thick cock?
You're a machine. Remember?
Hard thick cock. What's hard thick cock? What are we talking about here?
Talking about hard
Schoolhouse
cocks.
what?
You
Schoolhouse
guys
Rock,
think
you
Samson
fool.
will have Fundora vacate his WBO? Has Fundora versus Spence for the WBC? What are your thoughts? I don't know. I just very quickly because because I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I said it in the video. I don't know that Errol is in the picture anymore. But even without Errol, Sebastian still has an alternative. The winner of Zoo versus Murtazaliev. So if Samson decides that he doesn't want to put Sebastian in that fight with Crawford for whatever reason, they surrender the WBO. They could always fight the winner of Fundora versus Zoo, which I think is going to be Tim Zoo, in a rematch. They could always do that. I don't think they want to put their fighters in a situation, especially now that Al is back. I don't think they want to put their fighters in situations that they can't control. While Al was gone, that's when you saw Isaac and Rayo and David Morrell and on a Riyadh season card. But now it's being reported that Al is back. He's in the mix, yada, yada, yada. So as of now, I don't really expect to see a lot of participation from PBC guys on Riyadh season shows. As of now, I don't. So I think while the door is open for Sebastian to fight Terrence, I am not optimistic. If he does, great. Then we get a great fight.
I don't see
But
him
I'm not optimistic. I'm not
yeah,
optimistic.
I don't see him fighting them at all. I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to do it. Shout out to Dark Man. Berlanga reminds me of a stupid dog. That's,
I mean, that's a
oh, shit.
oddly specific.
That was kind of.
What is DAT actually spelled dog?
I mean, he doesn't come across as a very bright man, so it's hard
He's
to
not a bright.
disagree with him.
I mean,
I
he's
can
not
see Berlanga
exactly.
saying that.
How bad? How
No.
bad is Canelo going to beat the shit out of Berlanga?
He's gonna
Like,
beat
will
that
he
guy
make him
bad,
suffer before he puts him out, or what?
I mean, he's not exactly Mark Twain. He's Edgar.
No, but coming back to
Maybe
Fundora.
he's Edgar.
Okay, the thing is this: Fundora is talking about fighting a guy that has been. Spence is done. He has been destroyed by Crawford. That's the reality.
Mhm.
And you are talking about fighting Spence like he was, I don't know, Miguel Cotto, someone like that. Like, no, we have to fight Spence. Errol Spence. What does it mean? Errol Spence hasn't come back. He looks retarded on his interviews. He looks like he has special needs.
Yeah.
No, the guy is done. And you could fight the fighter that beat him.
It
But-
should be without question. It should
Yeah,
be.
absolutely.
It should be. I see what you mean. That Errol should have never even been in the conversation. He should have never even been there. But the fact is, he isn't. He hasn't fought in over a year. He still hasn't hired a trainer, right? They haven't said, oh, he hired Ronnie Shields or he hired Bob Santos or he hired Ishmael Salas. No, there's no news about who's supposed to be training this man. So I think he's done. Like, a part of me thinks, yeah, this dude is finished, bro. That
So
dude
let's-
don't want to box.
Let's
I
just
just
say
hope he doesn't-
somehow. Let's say somehow he does fight. Let's just say it does happen. When would they realistically have that fight between Fundora and Spence? Because, like you said, he has no trainer. I know his face is round as a moon pie. He's got a big fat fucking gut. So when could he realistically get in the ring and fight Fundora? We're talking right now. We're basically the end of August, beginning of September. When would he actually be able to get in the ring and fight him?
So they have 2 dates, Villain. They have one for November and one for December, right?
There's no chance he makes that November date. That's
No,
zero.
exact. That's what I was gonna say. That if he were gonna try to come back before this year is out, it would have to be the December date because November is cutting it way too close. Like it's still too close because you would need all of October to train and perhaps some of September, some of all of October, and some of November. He can't make that date. If he were gonna come back, I would say it's in December, but August is pretty much over. Pretty much over. And you still haven't said who's supposed to be training you, bro. Who?
I got a quick question too. So let's just assume that he somehow bites the bullet, fights Crawford. Crawford agrees to make the fight. When would that fight happen? Will they fight January, February,
December.
March? It'd be in
December.
December. That soon. Okay.
December, yeah, because Turkey, I believe that the way Turkey would set it up, we would get that on the same show as Fury versus Usyk 2 in Riyadh. That's how I think he would do that. Which is an amazing, which when you think about that
I wouldn't mind
structure,
that.
that's pretty fucking good. If you think about it, like, yes, I go for that, you know? But that's if Sebastian's on board, and I'm just not optimistic, dog. Like, nah, y'all dudes, everybody over there move funny, dog. David moves funny. Sebastian moves funny. Come on, like, I'm not expecting y'all to do nothing real, cause y'all not real. Y'all just some gimmicks
WWE.
over there.
We've seen this. We saw this with the Davis fight. We saw that with the Benavidez Usyk decision. We saw that with the fucking Raleigh Romero versus the Mummy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting them to surprise me with anything. I would like to think that Sebastian is a good kid. I'm not saying that he isn't, but boxing is boxing, bro. Especially in America, boxing is gonna boxing, and sometimes boxing sucks. You know.
Yep. Oh, dude, man, in your video, you had me rolling with Rolly coming up with good points on Ryan and shit.
Bro, I told you, it's bad when Rolly making a salient point, bro. What the fuck is going on when he's making a salient point, bro?
I didn't know he can make a salient sentence.
So you know Ryan fucked up. Rolly's starting to make sense. Shit. Now we got Cheeky Boy. Who's Cheeky Boy?
Cheeky Bay.
Cheeky.
What's up, Ring?
Oh, I thought this was gonna. No, you know what I thought it was gonna be, Frank? I thought it was gonna be some weird British dude. You know, them dudes be up late, dog. You know, I just want to say your nipples.
Well, like
when you ask him, like, what do you do? What are you doing up at 5:30 in the morning talking fucking boxing? Shouldn't you?
That's what on some real shit. Like it's a dude. I think his name is Pigeon. This dude be up super duper late. I'm like, yeah, see, you up doing serial killer things or something? Because
look at Rico. He was wasted when he came on that time.
Yeah, but he was wasted. It's like, all right, well, if you drinking, I could understand that. If you just get your drink on and you want to shoot the shit real quick, I could understand that. But some motherfucker just be late in their house, hot in their house, not wearing a shirt. Yeah, the country going to the place. Fuckers is wild for the night out here, B. Look, I'm gonna go take a shit. Frank, give us a solo of one of the verses on Biggie Smalls' Victory, if you will.
Damn, I'm more of a Tupac fan. I don't really know Biggie Smalls.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine. Come on, I just opened it up for you, bro. Come on, let's go.
All I know is Juicy. What'd he say? Juice said, he hella fat, breathing hella hard. Oh.
Like he had a fat burger. How you doing,
used to read Word Up magazine. What's up, man? Nah, I just jumped in because I heard the Spence talk, man. I want to see him again. What's wrong with wanting to see Errol Spence? He's still a name.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Bro, what do you want to see? I mean,
I want to see him get beat to a bloody pulp. I want to see Virgil and him in Texas Stadium. I mean, I think that's a massive fight.
I just don't want to take like more damage, man.
Bro, I thought he already got beat to a bloody pulp already. Didn't that happen already? Did I miss something?
Virgil puts him in a wheelchair if he fights.
I don't want to see that, man.
No, I mean, no, but seriously, I do want to see Errol Spence again. I personally, I want to see him again.
I don't.
That's just me.
I don't mind someone who wants to see him again. What I mind is wanting to see him again in a title fight that he hasn't earned, especially when it's over the guy who beat him and has since won a title in the same weight class.
But, I mean, that's boxing, right? He's still a name. Like, people still want to see Donaire and Chocolatito. Like, that's just boxing. Like, we're savages.
Dude, Sugar Ray Leonard's still a name, but no one ain't trying to see him fight either.
No, but
they might. They want to see. They think Floyd can come back.
No.
They after Floyd's exhibition, the people saying they want to see Floyd come back. They really think he can come back and beat Mario Barrios.
This is the thing. If you're talking about Nonito, that's a 40-something-year-old that stays in the gym and makes weight. Still, I don't know how, but he makes weight. Errol Spence fat ass doesn't even have a trainer. I don't think he wants to do this anymore.
Yeah, he's taking too much damage, bro. I just don't see, he ain't gonna be.
I mean, Gabe Rosado's still fighting. Derevchenko's gonna come back and get beat up again. Like, I mean, that's just boxing. Like, I want to see it.
But they're not putting on 50 pounds in between fights. You got what is Errol Spence right now? If you had to bet him $100 right now, how much you think Errol Spence weighs right now, sitting on the couch? This
190.
Easy. Easy 190, 195. He's going to come down. He's going to lose 40-something pounds in 3 months, and he has no trainer, nor is he in the gym. Come on. You know it's not going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? If he wants to fight, I hope he takes the right steps in doing it. I mean, he only has one loss. That's true. But, he just took a lot of damage.
I mean, I still want to see Keith Thurman. Like, I want to see these guys. I want to see Keith Thurman.
Whoa. Okay, I was with you. I was with you on Spence.
Nah, brother, I'm not a fan, but I want to see them come back and get beat up. Like, I want to see them come back and finally the talk is over. Like, once Earl comes back and gets beat up.
See Keith Thurman. Like,
you have hate in your heart. I can respect that.
I want to see it, and then they ride off into the sunset. Like, I just want to see it, so it's finally over. Like Freddy Krueger, right? Jason, Michael Myers. Like, it's finally over. We can put him to bed. But as long as we haven't seen them go out like that, we're gonna be talking about them.
Actually, you know what? And Isaac actually suggested this. I kind of agree with him. Let's just make Spence versus Thurman.
That would sell. I think it does 200K.
The fight of the has-beens. Is that how they're gonna sell it? Watch two has-beens fight, duke it out.
Well, they don't want to fight the young and up and comer guys, right? I mean, it's better they take on each other. What did we see last year? We seen what did we see? Guerrero versus Ortiz. Wasn't that on the pay-per-view last year?
But did you want to see that? But did you want to see that fight realistically? Did you want to see that?
I think it was fun for like a circus act. Like Guerrero, he showed up, showed out, and he got a final payday. I mean, or was it Guerrero and Ortiz? If I'm mistaken,
it was Guerrero.
Yeah.
Who's got $20 million? The minimum it's going to take to get Thurman and Spence in the ring with each other.
Oh Jesus,
Turkey,
bro. Turkey's not even going to try to make that fight. He knows better.
Hey, let me read the super chat real quick. Pat's Nation says, "I want to see Bud versus Charlo. It could be a big fight. I think it would be all right if Charlo was back up to par, but he hasn't fought in a minute, not since Canelo."
I'm assuming we're talking about Jermell Charlo, obviously, because of 154. But
yeah, we ain't talking about them all. That's for damn sure.
Jermell said he's coming back, but nah. If you ran away from Tim Tszyu, you want nothing to do with Crawford. I'm sorry, and I don't want to hear it about. Oh, he did it for the Canelo money. He did it for the no. You ran from Tim Tszyu, you pussy. I'm with Jules 100%. He faked that arm injury to get out of that shit. And then when the Canelo money came calling, oh yeah, I'm taking the big fight.
Pussy. I mean, in his defense, he was smart to do it because he wasn't good. What kind of marquee value does he have? He gets the shit beat out of him by Tim Tszyu. He doesn't get the Canelo payday. So I know why he did it. It doesn't make it any less of a duck, but at least can understand why he did it.
I think from now on, I'm going to call Turkey, because somebody made a funny name about him, but instead of the name they said, I'm going to call him Al Hashish.
I don't know if you can call that a duck, because moving up to weight classes to fight the undisputed champion should not.
No. What I'm getting at, Leo. What I'm getting at, Leo, is if he goes and he fights Tim Tszyu, he's likely going to lose, in my personal opinion. That fight, once he makes that fight and he loses, the Canelo fight has no merit. He won't have the fight anymore. So I'm not saying per se that he ducked Tszyu to take Canelo, but had he taken the fight and lost, then he doesn't get the payday. So I'm saying he took that fight for the money and skipped Tim Tszyu on purpose. That's a much higher risk, low reward. I don't think he had any delusions he was going to win the fight against Canelo, but he knew he was going to be able to cash that big paycheck.
For me, the problem wasn't taking the. The problem for me wasn't taking the fight against Canelo because that made sense. Even that move, the not fight Team Sue. The problem was really that Jermel went there and shot the bed.
He
Yeah.
ran the whole fight. He
Did
ran
you
the whole
expect any less though?
No,
fight.
but that was just such a bad advertisement for American boxing because even though that fight wasn't necessarily built up in terms of promotion, it's not like it was something that people were working towards. For you to talk that much shit for that long, and this is what you do when you get the opportunity, like, wow, dog, this is embarrassing, bro. It was. I had secondhand embarrassment watching that shit. That's
Yeah, it was
bad
Well,
advertising.
it was quite
you're not
pathetic.
shocked by the outcome, are you? Though I mean, wasn't that what your
No,
expectation
no,
was?
but no. The expectation was that Canelo would win, but honestly, I had a very high opinion of Jermel Charlo, just in general. Like the guy's gonna try. I really thought the guy was gonna try. He
He
did the
didn't.
polar opposite of that. It was
And,
ridiculous.
and and moving up to weight classes is not an excuse. Look at fucking Kell Brook. Kell Brook went there with Golovkin, and he was winning rounds. It was moments on that fight that was beating the shit out of Gennady Golovkin. He got
Yeah,
soft, but he tried.
he
He
tried, and
fucking tried.
it's just I don't know, like I don't want to get into the political sphere or the just outside of boxing, but I just felt like that's a microcosm for where the country is, bro. I don't know why. It's just like, yeah, this is fucking pathetic. You talked all that shit for that amount of time so that when you finally get the opportunity, this is what you do. I wouldn't mind if you never boxed again, bro. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep if you never
Right.
boxed again,
It
bro.
was another guy who used Canelo as his retirement plan. Here's
Yeah,
my
and it's
retirement package.
pathetic. It's pathetic, bro. Like, shout out to Domo. Bro said that bitch can't beat me with that stuff after the Rada fight, only so he can beat. Yeah, like he was talking all that shit because remember, wasn't it in May that he was talking shit because Canelo had fought Ryder in May. He did like a Instagram live talking a bunch of shit. He gets the fight in September. It's like, yo, dog, like y'all dudes is just mediocre, dog. Like y'all
Well,
just
I
you're
thought
just
I seen him.
mediocre.
Was it him or his brother that was ringside at a Canelo fight? He was like telling somebody's recording. He's like, "I'm gonna beat him. I can
No,
beat
that
him."
was Mel. That was Mel
Oh, that was
talking
Mel that
to
was saying that.
Maul. That was Mel talking to Maul. Literally at that fight. Literally, he's yeah, I could beat him. I could beat him. And then after that, after that fight, Mel did like an Instagram live, and then I think Fight Hub uploaded it here on YouTube. And he talking shit, and it's like, yo, dog, like you just talking shit to be talking shit. Basically, you just talking shit. You're not
They
gonna
just
do
get drunk,
nothing.
man. I think they just get drunk and they just run their mouth. How many incidents have we seen people step into them and they kind of just like, you know, hide behind
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah. It's just that they're two grown men in their 30s that make it look crazy. Like, yo, them dudes is not little kids or 20-year-olds out here. Them dudes is in their 30s doing that silly shit. That's crazy. Motherfucker really slapped the shit out you, Maul. Like on some real, like he for real slapped the shit out of you in front of everybody. And the next time you see Maul, ain't nothing, yo. I don't hate playing. He says some shit. I'm like, yeah, this dude. I don't know what's going on with this dude, bro. Or when he caught that what's that white kid, Aiden Ross? He caught him demanding money for a collab. I'm like, yo, what's the matter with you, bro? Like you for real panhandling out here. It's
Now
pathetic,
that
bro.
for real, that guy Jermel scares me. I don't really want to talk bad about the guy because you're going through it, and someone tell me that someone is gonna put you out of the age sometime. I don't want to be close to that shit. You're gonna crash and burn
No,
if you
yeah,
keep
I
doing
mean,
that
he's
shit.
crashing and burning now, bro. Like I don't really know what's the matter with them dudes, but I attribute a lot of the dysfunctional behavior, honestly, because it seems to be. I know that boxers, in a very general sense, historically, have had some dysfunctional practices. Like if you look at Jermaine Taylor, for example, he was just on some. He was wow. He was wilding, right? But I feel like over there, the reason guys end up in some shit is because they don't be having nothing to do. Like Spence had time to be drinking and getting crazy. Jermel and Jamal, they had time to be getting drunk and crazy. Broner too, you know? And I feel like maybe it pertains to the schedule that they're on. They're like, well, yeah, you got time to get fat and get fucking drunk because y'all don't really get out there like that, you know? So you got time to get on all that bullshit.
Yeah, man, you gotta always be improving, right? Like like I think we look at it like it's entertainment. Like it is entertainment, but you should still be working on boxing. If that like you're gonna get killed in there if you're not taking it serious.
Yeah, I mean, like
I
I kind of
that sounds like common sense, right? But
no,
if you're
yeah, like if you look at a lot of like what you're supposed to be doing, right? So when you're not fighting,
right,
you supposed to be in the gym. You supposed to be. You gotta, you know, maybe it's because it's boring to them. You know that you gotta go there. You gotta just keep working on shit, working on shit. They probably get bored of doing that shit and just get into some shit.
yeah,
But
that's
perhaps
one thing.
if they were fighting 3 times a year, well, you don't have time to get in no shit because you're fighting 3 times a year. You don't have
So,
time to get into other shit.
so treat
Like that's one
boxing
thing
like
I
a
hate.
full-time job? Wow, what a concept.
Well, you
Well,
look at Newey's training videos, like just his training videos, these videos that he's posting. You're like, fuck, I am not stepping to that dude.
Dog, have you
Like,
seen the
man,
pic of Inoue shredded? Like ahead of the
it's
TJ.
nasty.
you know what I think
Kill
about? You
TJ.
know how I think about it? I think some fighters know. They maybe don't tell the media. And they maybe keep it to themselves, but they know when they want to leave. I think some fighters know how their story in the sport ends or have an idea when they want it to end versus other fighters who are kind of like Lost. You remember Lost, the TV show? It's like
Yep.
you guys were writing this shit and making it up as you go without a real direction to take the show. And that's how I think some other boxers are that you're just going. You don't know where you're going. You're just going, you know? You don't really know what you want, you know? And let's face it, some guys are going to make it and some guys aren't. That's just the reality of boxing that yes, some guys are going to be world-class fighters that are remembered for decades and decades and some guys are going to be forgotten. That you could write the story of boxing without mentioning Jamal Charlo once.
Yeah, and that's boxing, right? Like you could have 2 or 3 careers if you're dedicated. Like you don't have to be dedicated 24/7, but you can have revivals, get back in the gym, get a new trainer. I mean, Arturo Gatti had revival. Who else could we say had revivals in their careers? Like even
Duran.
JoJo somehow sticking around. JoJo
Yeah,
Diaz.
he had a revival. He had a revival. He did. Ray Beltran had a revival. Ricky Burns had a revival. You remember long after Terrence Crawford beat Ray Beltran, he became a champion again. Long after Terrence Crawford beat Ricky Burns, he won a title at 140, became a champion again. You can have a revival, you know?
Yeah, like this guy Stephen Fulton, he's looking to have a revival, right? Like
I
he's
mean, I would like for him to have it, but he just seems so dejected, bro. He just seems so
yeah, he's
dejected.
beefing with people on the internet, or he's talking about the ref and they start roasting them.
Yeah, you know, because the way they did him, well, you know, we've talked about Stefan, but in a nutshell, he's mad that his fight is on the prelim card, and it's like, well, bro, what do you expect? What were you expecting? You know, they put Rolly on the main show, and they put you on the prelim. You beat 2 champions. Yeah, yeah, he did. He beat 2 champions. He beat Angelo Leo for the BO, and he beat Brandon Figueroa for the
Hey,
BC.
who does Rolly have dirt on, man? Because that dude, they just bringing him back from the dead
It's
at the
because,
time.
bro, it's because they think he popular. He's a struggle boxer. Struggle boxer in the sense they're like, yo, on online, you fake popping. If it's a video of you saying the dumb shit you be saying, people gonna watch that shit. But people don't actually pay to see you fight.
No,
It's weird
Raleigh
that
is
he's popular online, but not really in terms of like no, people don't pay to see you fight, Rolly. The fuck?
no, Rolly is the boxing version of the Morbius film. Like, remember when Morbius came out? No one went to see it, and then the internet just got behind like it's Morbin time. Remember that? Like they were fake popping on the line, and they re-released the fucking movie to less success than
you
the
know what it
first time
is.
it was released.
Too many people get a good laugh out of watching him. That's why they like him. He's around because everybody likes.
No,
him.
yeah, but it's
you
also
know
the
who
platform.
reminds
No,
me?
no, wait a minute. But it's also the platform country that the demo that perhaps spends money on boxing is not necessarily the same demo that frequents YouTube. And I noticed that about some channels, that they have really great metrics just by covering the same subjects over and over, right? But the fighters that they're covering don't actually do very good numbers, or they're not actually very popular, save Tank. You know, that you could sit here doing videos about Shakur and Tank, Shakur and Tank, Shakur and Tank to no end, but yeah, you're not really popping like that, dog. Not like that. Like, you know what I mean? So online in this sphere where everything is kind of free to watch, yeah, you're gonna do great metrics because nobody has to pay anything. But when they
Yeah,
have to
do you
pay,
know who reminds me? Roland Romero reminds me to that streamer, that kid, I Speed or something like that.
oh, I know that
It's
kid. I know the kid.
yeah, it's something like that. That I've seen some of these clips that is very loud, and some people, a lot of people find him entertaining. I don't personally. I think it's just uh, a kid that is not very bright, but he screams and
Yeah.
yells. And for me, Roy Romero is in the wrong business because it should be an entertainer, really. And that
He should be doing his own like he could be so big on Twitch, bro. Big Rolo.
yeah,
Big Rolo stream. That shit sounds like money. Big Rolo stream.
yeah.
He
He
shouldn't be
could be
fighting people, bro.
he could be talking all that shit and will be making millions.
Bro, he would get like all the bitches, bro. Big Rolo stream. That shit sound like some paper, bro. That sound like some money. You could monetize that Big Rolo stream with your boy Big Rolo. Putting this Big Rolo in your bitch.
You see him
That
walk
shit
on,
sound like money, dog. I should be
walk
an
on the
agent,
scene
bro.
with the fur coat on.
Right? He could be playing Call of Duty with the fur on. He be playing Call of Duty with the mink on.
Oh
Big
my
Rolo
God, that's
stream.
great.
He could link up. Who's that good looking chocolate joint that she be doing like the non-playable character shit, the NPC shit? Yes,
Making
yes,
good.
yes. Yes, yes, yes. He could link up with that
Oh
bitch,
yeah.
bro. That bitch fine. Yo, that bitch
They would
fine
be a
in the
power. They'd be
motherfucker,
a
by the
power
way.
couple. That's a power couple. You're not playing.
That's a power couple, bro. You only need like 2 brain cells between them, bro. She'll be yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. You know what I'm saying?
Ice cream. I like it or something.
Hey, Jules, did you run out of Batman shirts?
Nah, I got a couple. I ordered a couple, but you know, I just wanted to be on some different shit. I wanted to change it up tonight.
I feel it.
You know? But yeah, yo, him and her, man, they would have some really ugly fucking babies, dog. Like, cause Rolly's genes, you could tell he got that.
Rolly and who?
Rolly and the NPC joint.
Oh,
Yes, 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 yes. All the babies gonna come out looking like Rolly. All the babies gonna come out looking like Rolly with that same, you know what I mean, twisted up face and shit, bro.
Hey, he wants to have kids.
Yo, y'all know she got a porno, right? She got a porno. The yes, yes, yes.
Who thinks
Pinky
Rolly ate
Doll.
paint chips as a kid?
It's
I do.
it's Pinky Doll. That's the one. Yeah,
She got a hell of a porno, bro. She can ride some dick.
because she talk British. She talk like British or something.
I don't know what that joint is. Fun motherfucker. I don't know how a motherfucker could sit there and watch that bitch though. Like, so what? You just gonna sit here and watch this bitch? I don't know. Like, what the? I don't understand that shit, Leo. Like at all. Like, so what? Y'all just sit there and watch the bitch, and she just repeats. So what? Like, you send her like an ice cream cone. Ice cream. Ice cream. And she's just like, y'all watch this?
Oh my God!
No, I don't know what's going on.
Yo, no, cause I caught one. No, listen, I caught that shit months ago, and I'm watching this shit. I'm like, well, I see why they like her, cause she's really pretty. She's got a nice body and all of that. But you watch like a minute of that shit, like, so what? The bitch just says, like they send her shit. Pizza good. Pizza good, and the bitch just keeps going. Like, what?
No. Look, the only way that I can, the only fucking way I can rationalize this from an intellectual point of view is, do you know when some people find a flaw in the system, like a glitch that they can capitalize and steal money? This
Yeah.
is a glitch in the system in the entertainment business. So you just find a it's like practically it's a magic spell or something
No,
like that.
no, Leo, like we know why the bitch is doing it. Like she's getting buku dollars off that shit.
No, no,
Why
Bro,
no.
are
she
I
said
people
7K
hate
a month.
watching it?
how she figured that shit out. I will never figure that shit.
No, see, I can see how it happened for her. See, I'll put it this way. The broad, it's always going to be avenues that are available for a joint, especially a good looking joint, right? It's always going to be avenues that are available for a joint to just do dumb shit. There may be a guy, because who the fuck going to sit there and watch a dude? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? But I guess maybe because the joint is a pretty joint, I don't know. Maybe some of these people get off on her doing commands that
Yes,
they
yes,
give.
that's exactly what it is.
Because I'm like, I
It's like
don't understand.
it's like some fetish shit that they're into. You know.
And,
Oh
and
yeah. Okay.
and you know what
Now
the
I
shit
get it.
is that the reason that sometimes it's hard for me to grasp the shit, right, is because I'm always in a mentality where it's like, yo, see, I see what it is. Y'all motherfuckers don't get no ass. So you get off on this like weird type of shit when I'm just thinking, bro, just go flirt with the cashier. The fuck wrong with a lot of y'all? Go somewhere. Meet a bitch. They all over the place, dog. Like blowjobs is not hard to come by. You know what I mean? Like get out get out the house and get a blowjob. Whereas the people, the market that she caters to are the basement dwellers and the hermits and the ones that fawn over any girl with a pretty face. It's like it's very obvious that there's a subculture emerging from the internet that exists parallel to the real world. They're like, yo, you really just gonna watch this bitch say ice cream 9 times, bro? That's what
Yeah,
you gonna
man.
do this
Like you may
afternoon,
as well
bro?
watch. You may as well watch pornography, but I guess they feel cleaner doing that. You
I
know what I'm saying?
guess,
Like,
bro. Like, yeah, just go on fucking X share and rub one out and relax, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like this sex shit, like honestly, the fact that for so many young, attractive women out there that the only agency they have are their feminine wiles, and how so many young men are easily manipulated by this one dog. I'm telling you, you could break the matrix by getting some ass. Once you start to get the ass and you get in the rhythm of getting some ass, you gonna stop wasting your fucking time with this dumb shit, bro. This is crazy. Like the fuck are you doing? You so if a motherfucker asks you what you was doing with your afternoon, you was watching this bitch.
No, they gonna lie.
That's getting
They gonna
good.
lie. They ain't gonna tell the truth. They gonna
That's
lie.
getting good. That's getting good.
I'd be less embarrassed as to say I was watching porn. Like, what the fuck?
No, because now that just seems more noble. Like, nah, man, I was on fucking Pornhub. I rubbed one out, took a shower. Yeah, like shit, normal shit, dog. Like,
You know what? If you ask a motherfucker and he
Oh,
tells
Jules, you
you he
got a
was
request.
watching, no. If you ask somebody that
that's getting good. That's getting good. That's getting good.
That was only free, bitch.
Oh
no,
shit!
but wait,
Does she say that about Dick too?
I hope so.
wait.
Dick is
If you ask,
good.
if
Dick
you
is
ask some,
good. Dick is
if you
good.
ask someone what you were doing in your afternoon, and he tells him, if he tells you he was doing porn, you know he was doing some devious shit.
Yeah, he was watching like incest porn, bro. Like he's watching like bestiality porn, like woman fucks horse or
Oh
some
my
type of shit, dog.
god.
Like honestly, no, because this, and I know that the younger generation is just so much different than we were. Because I look at the things that they do and what are social norms. Um, watching a guy play a video game, it's like, don't you want to play the video game instead of watching him do it? What the fuck is going on? And I firmly believe, and this is dangerous shit. This is classified CIA level shit. Like, you need a clearance for this shit I'm about to tell y'all. I firmly believe that TikTok was some kind of a hypnosis to see how many of the younger people are susceptible to suggestion on command. These challenges. Yeah, let me climb up a thing of milk crates so I can fall like a fucking idiot. After I've seen 10 people fall, let me do it. You know?
Jules, I
Because
have
I'm a
to push
fucking
back on that.
moron.
I've pushed back on that, Jules, because it's not like we've seen someone do like a Tide Pod eating challenge or something.
No, and on the dances, bro. Like you said, like you know, I picture things in real time that I'm like, so you sat. I don't picture things from what you're showing me so much as what if I were parallel to you, looking across the lawn, and I see you propping up the camera doing these fucking stupid dances. Do you know how fucking stupid you look doing that shit? That's insane. But what it communicates is that in your mind, the digital world means more than the real one. If you're
Hey,
doing this dumb
but
shit.
the another thing too, Jules, is the parents are getting in on it. Because I remember, don't you remember being a kid and say, "Dad, look at this shit." Your dad will slap you like, "Nigga, stop that shit.
For real.
Stop that dumb
Oh,
shit."
you
These
know, no, you know,
parents,
you gotta do the dad. You do the dad glance. That's great.
yeah.
And you just go.
Get the fuck
I,
out of
I,
here with that.
I
No,
mean, because
the
fellas, like one
reality.
time I saw a video. This reminds me of the video I saw one time where like there was this dude going around. He found a spot in Cali, I think it was Compton or something like that, or just a spot where the hood was, and he was walking around asking black people like, "Do you know where the N word is?" And he said, "Oh no, it's a club. It's actually a club." And it's like, bro, what is wrong with
No,
you? Are
look,
you
look,
trying to get
look,
fucking?
look. I'll say this. I do think that some of those pranksters go too far. Like, I'm not above fart jokes. Like, there is an Instagram page. There are 3 Instagram pages I follow where the guy just farts, and you watch the reactions.
Jules, I don't want to know what
So,
the kind of porn you're into.
no, no,
No,
no.
no, no.
Honestly, it's because it's so fucking funny. Like, the dude did a Michael Jackson spin and a fart can in the. So
No, no, no.
go
Okay.
ahead, Leo. Go ahead, Leo.
The sad reality is this: heavily urbanized populations. They have all the people have many interests, but you're gonna even if you have so many people, you're gonna be pushed to find actual people in real life to talk about. This is the best example. I cannot find in my place 7 or 8 fucking people to talk about boxing. No, this is the best place to do it.
That's a
And
fair
some
point.
people they have some things interesting. I don't have nobody to share in real life. Not really.
Hey, Jules,
So
read
they
this.
find
Yeah, man.
TikTok, they find Instagram, and all that shit, and they try to have a sense of community in that regard with those media.
It's an overload of information, Leo. If you know, because I'm like 500-600 years old, so I've seen what's happened to your species, and you used to be a very utilitarian species focused on what you had to do. Now you've lived in decadence for so long, it's really only about what you want to do, which oftentimes is arbitrary and idle. You're basically idle, doing the devil's work. How arbitrary is it to focus on non-playable characters in a video game to the point to where you mimic them and cosplay them? You couldn't think of anything better to do or anything better to be. Also, the system in and of itself makes us this way because whether we all like it or not, we're all in pursuit of money. So if something
Damn, I just
is
got a PSA.
telling you,
No, but for real, and it kept crept into boxing, right? Like with like I remember like there was celebrity matches, but now it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't we always want to see this shit though? Didn't we always want to see the crossover fights like Shaquille O'Neal, De La Hoya? You
I
know,
mean,
didn't we
I mean,
used to think?
like if they were real, because we know that there are legitimate beefs in the celebrity world. We know that 50 Cent and Floyd, or Ti and Floyd, or Chris Brown and anybody, because he's just a very violent guy. We know that there are some celebrity boxing matches that would actually make a nice bit of change, but these people make so much money doing what they're doing already, they would not choose to fight. They wouldn't choose that. Obviously not. What? Because they don't have to resort to that to make money. They're already making bitches is cheating on their husbands and getting into compromising positions just to take a picture with C Breezy, dog. Bitches is all in
Oh,
his
I
mouth.
see that too.
Jeez.
Bitches all in his mouth and shit. They got a husband or whatever they got going on at home. They home situation. Bitches dating is not caring.
What they
So if
pay
you
like
Jules,
1K
Jules, they're
a
paying
band to
$1,100 to do that too. $1,100 to take a photograph with the dude who beats up women.
literally like you can't even pity these bitches no more. I don't. I be telling all y'all young motherfuckers, you better cheat on these hoes. I don't know the fuck you think going on. You better cheat. Cheat hard. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, read
Fuck
the
being
super
fuck
chat,
faithful.
bro. Read the super chat.
What super chat? I don't see a super chat, country.
It's the last one. It's
Let me
hold on.
see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to the starred.
Bad Mike 11. There you go.
I read that one already, country.
Did
What the
you? I
fuck?
thought you didn't.
Yeah,
You stopped me mid flow for that one. I read that one
All right, I
already,
fucked
bro.
up. I'm
I mean,
sorry,
but
man.
Jules,
I fucked
wait,
up.
but Jules, you touched on an interesting point because you said everybody's doing this to make money, which is true. But there are some professions which I just don't understand, like the cosplay stuff. Just dudes watching these chicks like
The
eat
thing
ice
it's
cream.
a subculture. It's a subculture in the sense. Well, I don't want to get into the religious thing, but it's just that so many of my beliefs stem from my religion and where we are as a society
Hey,
now.
but who was that just speaking? Is that AJ?
Yeah, that's
That was
me.
But
Jimbo. That was
but
Jimbo.
Jimbo from
What's up,
Connecticut.
man?
Hey, no, but I thought
Connecticut.
about something too about that because like I find myself going on the iceberg on YouTube, right? Watching like some of this shit. But then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn on the TV because at least these people, I watch a movie, a TV show, that's millions of production. Like people are being paid for their talents with the acting and production, right? But if I'm just going on a rabbit hole of just weirdo people, like I feel like that fucks with my head. Does
It
that make
does.
sense?
No, it does. Like you look, you're how old are you, Frank?
I'm older, man. I'm
No, you can tell me. How old are you?
no, I told you I'm 37.
Oh, wait, I thought you were younger than that because you sound younger than that. I'm gonna say this, Frank. I think that there's something about the wiring of the younger people, not us, not people in our age group, but there's something about the wiring in their brain that makes them particularly susceptible to things that you see online. If you go on Twitter, honestly, which is scary, I believe that okay, so if you're somebody who looks like me, that algorithm is trying to make you hate people that look like Jay, and you have to fight it. Now, if you're my age, oh, well, you can. This is the internet. I don't trust what you're showing me. You want us to be against each other, is what I start to notice about a lot of the things that I see online. And you know that these things run on an algorithm. So they're trying to paint a picture of people to you that is not real. How do I know? Because of my real life experiences. I
Right.
know that everybody's not the same. There are people of my background that are not good to be around. There are people of Jay's background that are probably not good to be around, and people of
Mm-hmm.
Country's
But,
background
but let me
that are
let me
not
let
good to
me
be
throw this at you, Jules, because I remember this in the rap genre, right? It's always a debate. Is it that are people that are influencing social media, or is it social media influencing people, right? Because that's like rap, right? Like was it the rap that was influencing the streets was influencing
the
rap,
people.
and then we seen it reflected.
I'll make a long story short for
So
you.
basically, let me just wrap it up. Is it that there's so much degeneracy in society that is being reflected through social media, or you think it's a program social media is pushing upon us to make us degenerate? Bam, boom, bang.
First, they got the thing is, the first thing they did, and this is all social media, they got you to hand over your power and your privacy. You gave the social media power. We all did. Once you gave it power, you gave it the power to manipulate you, but you had to give it the power first. You give it the power. If you're on Instagram every day, you're giving it that power. If you look at stories on Twitter about a particular demographic and you just believe what you're seeing and don't stop to think, this is not what I'm seeing. This is what you're showing me. You're showing me this. Behind all of this is a system that is designed to continually show me this to affect my ideas and perceptions of a people. It's all they're doing
Um,
it to you, in other words.
Yeah, you ain't lying,
I
bro.
funda-
Twitter's toxic as fuck.
I fundamentally agree with you, Julius, but you are a 600 years old entity, so you have to know this
Well,
better than anyone. That we don't need any help from anyone to be against each other.
No, of
That
course
has
not.
But
always been the case.
Julius,
No, of course
this
not. But
some
the
oh
problem is, hold on, I'll say this. It's not so much getting people to be against each other. It's serving as a catalyst to profiteer from the turmoil, to
Yeah,
profiteer from it.
it
We
makes the
don't need
problem worse.
Yeah, we don't need anyone to make us hate each other. We are that. Well, I'm not because I'm better than most humans, but humans don't need necessarily a catalyst to make them be at odds with each other. They can be at odds with each other for any number of reasons. But in this day and age that we live in, there are people that profiteer from that division. That's why we're not progressing. It's not getting better, it's getting more divided. It is. And
well
that's
there
because
there
somebody benefits from that.
I don't know who where you guys are in the country, but I know on the West Coast we have a phenomenon called street takeovers. Are you guys experiencing this?
No, tell us
It,
No.
look
about
it
it.
up on LA. The street takeovers, they call sideshows. So
Yeah,
like
that
Okay.
happens in Oakland a lot,
So yeah,
man.
what are they? Can
yeah,
you tell us what they are?
well they're Twitter it, Google it. They're Bay Area, LA kid
Yeah,
like
no,
ten
no
thousands of
disrespect.
kids. Oh, go
Okay,
ahead.
I was just saying no disrespect. You want me to Twitter or Google it? Like I got you right here. Can you just explain it to us, please?
Well, so you can see the phenomenon. It's a
Okay,
phenomenon.
okay.
It's thousands of kids that are going and they're gathering in major cities and they're doing sideshows like they're whipping donuts and they're taking over entire streets.
All
Oh,
that, yeah,
Uh,
that
no,
stuff. Oh
I
yeah.
know what, no, I know what it is, but it's basically a flash mob with vehicles and hooliganism.
That's
Basically,
it.
it's
That's all
American.
it is.
It's basically American hooliganism in a manner of speaking. But yeah, I know what it is, but it's just I would
well, it
say, I would say that this is a byproduct of social media in the sense that they're not telling this younger generation the way that they used to be doctors, to be lawyers. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, there was a lot around you that was compelling you to go out there and be something, whatever it was, something professional, something good. That message I can see clear as day is gone.
Well,
That message is gone.
I was in this generation from being probably one of the oldest people on the panel is that I don't feel like people or companies or media, nobody's authentic anymore. Everything feels like plastic
Yeah,
and fake. I don't feel like relationships are authentic anymore with people. It
they're
all
not.
seems very transactional, and it's extremely sad because when I was growing up, you would have like an organic, neighborhood. You'd have deep relationships with people that carried on for decades. Eh, Everything seems transactional. Every interaction I have anymore, I don't feel like people have any sort of empathy toward each other. And I think
No,
a
they
lot of
don't.
it has to do with social media because prior to social media, you didn't have that feeling. You feel like
Well,
people
it's not the
organically.
social media, it's the internet. It's affecting the way that people it's expecting the internet is affecting people's perceptions of reality and their expectations in terms of time and what they want to receive. They look at everything as a transaction because it's very different now. We used to have to wait for things that we wanted, and we used to have to wait for a while. Like we used to have to wait for the movies that we wanted to see. Now they're at our fingertips. We can watch any of them that we want at any given time, but now they lose value because of that. No, it's not the same. You don't appreciate it as much. And that's where the younger generation is. See, the younger generation, they don't have anything to weigh that against. That is their reality. That is what they know. That's all they've
That's
ever
true.
known because they were born into a world that was that way. We, on the other hand, were not. We went outside. We got hurt. We did things. We played sports, did different shit. This generation is basically having a remote childhood.
Yeah, and things that I also noticed growing up that became kind of phenomenal that I when I stopped and thought about it was is that it used to be if you wanted to meet a girl, if you wanted to get a relationship, first of all, you're generally going to meet a girl in the area of the city you live in
Oh
because
yeah.
it's what you can reach, right? Like I lived in a city that has about 500,000, maybe 600,000 people. But I didn't know any girls outside of like my high school in the area I was at because you didn't have social media. You had no way to view these people. There was no way to see what was going on. So you would have to like go to a club or you'd have to go to an area to meet women who live
Yeah.
in your city in just a different place. And then
Yeah.
what happened is that Now you can have a girl who's 18, 19, 20 years of age, who's the most beautiful girl in her area, and she would have to end up dating a guy within that vicinity because she didn't have the opportunity for the exposure. Now you'll have a girl who's 20 years old, who's absolutely a dime piece, who won't end up with the guy who's in her vicinity because she can talk to dudes that are halfway across the world. She can get people
No,
in other
moreover,
states,
Or she
other
has an
countries.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
moreover, that the narcissism, the general narcissism, like, well, I'm not gonna say that women are hard to get to. I wouldn't say that. Like, nah, these broads are all the same. Honestly, if once you get in a rhythm, that they're all the same. They can be gotten to, but it's more like it's what villain's touching on, that you might have had a very beautiful girl that lives in a particular area, but she's not on Instagram or all these different things to have these people constantly feeding her ego. Whereas now, any girl with a halfway decent body thinks she's God's gift to the earth. Any girl, dog. Any
Yeah,
girl on
yeah, you
Instagram.
hear it in their
Any girl.
description. But when they're looking for a guy, man, their
You know,
descriptions are
like I
ridiculous.
see these posts. I see, and I don't try to see them because I'm mostly on Instagram for food, funny shit, and boxing. That's
And
primarily
do
what I like to watch.
and men farting,
No,
obviously.
and people farting and people farting. But you get these thirst traps, and to me it's nauseating that they'll have this deep fucking quote from like fucking Lao Tzu or some shit, and all it really is an excuse to show your ass. You know,
Or
it'll
your
be a
tits.
caption. It'll be a caption. And it's really just you showing your fucking ass because you want approval. It's a drug to them. "No, look at my ass. I went to the gym. You know you can go to the gym and not tell people. You know that, right? It's not
Yeah.
necessary. Yeah, you can do that. You know, you can
Do
eat fucking food and not show people what you ate.
I'm gonna ask you guys a
Well,
question.
see,
I'm gonna ask the panel a question real quick. I want you to give me an answer to this question, percentage wise. What percentage today is percentage of people who are now divorcing over social media, or
I,
some fraction of it? What percentage of divorces are now associated with social media or fallout because of social media?
I
Everybody,
say
give me an
30. I
answer.
say 35%.
I'd say 40.
I'll go with
45.
Any- Anybody else?
That's related to it
That's
is
related to
because
it.
of
Like
social
in
media.
one way or
Shit,
another.
now, yeah, 60%. Like some people think liking is cheating. You know, if you like something, they could take that as cheating.
45% of all marriages now are ending because of social media. Either jealousy, like one person said, or two, actually either men or women or both of them, both parties, finding somebody else through social media, through Facebook, through other just normal channels. 45% of all divorces now are related to social media one way or another.
The problem is that social media amplifies the baser impulses of the individual. For example, even somebody that was fucking a lot, because when I was young, I used to get a lot of blowjobs, get a lot of pussy, but you're not gonna see pussy all the time. You understand what I mean? Now you open your phone, it's tits and ass everywhere, dog. It's tits and ass on Instagram. It's tits and ass on Facebook. It keeps you in that state of mind. It keeps you in that frame of mind, even in moments where before you wouldn't have been. You would have got your fucking blowjob and you go on about your business, or you would have dedicated time to pulling the joint. Whereas now everything is a sensory overload. Everything is instant gratification. It's about instant gratification, whether you're ordering things on Amazon or pornography and lewd images at your fingertips, and it dumbs down. I guess it dumbs down your existence and your capability as, I would say, a man, because you could be really strong and really smart, but the right joint will mess you up. That's our
Mhm.
Achilles heel. That is our Achilles heel. These broads. And the way things are now, man, you can't be on Instagram without seeing somebody's fucking ass crack. You can't. They'll have a fucking biblical quote, Psalm 23 chapter 3 verse 5, and it'll be a fucking ass crack in the background, or a nipple, or a broad showing her ass. It's just like, yo, you're
yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean,
And
Jules, you ain't
so,
here's the
lying.
problem. Here's the problem. Enough men, and I'm not on no red pill, Tom, because that's a gimmick unto itself. That is a gimmick unto itself. It's very simple. You are ridiculous. And there are not enough men that are willing to say, yeah, you're fucking ridiculous. You're just showing your ass for people online. That's all you're doing. You can.
But no cat. Yeah, after I go to the when I go to the gym, bro, I'm in everybody's video. These chicks be filming themselves, doing stretches, showing
Because they're
everything.
all narcissists now. That's how, like, I don't, because I don't like getting into the faith thing because I respect that everybody might have a different faith than I do. But when I see that, it does speak to what I already think. Hey, isn't that how we all got here? Narcissism. This isn't that how it all started? You love yourself a little bit too much. What do you think you are?
Yeah, one of the things you the sooner you understand this as a man, better for you. It's gonna be better for you. You cannot take these women seriously. And it's not about being a woman hater. It's not about being a misogynist. It's about you. Everyone in the planet is not going to be smart 100% of the time. And some people are dumb most of the time. You cannot take
Yes.
those people seriously because you're going to start hating them. And it's not worth to hate people that are dumb or some. I have been dumb in my life. I don't want to people to hate me because I say something dumb. So you don't take me seriously now because I'm gonna learn eventually, and you can learn too. But if I take everything you say seriously, if I take everything you say as a personal offense, of course I'm gonna end up hating you. And men are, in a way, they function better when they don't take this woman seriously.
Yes, I would say that I'll try to teach my son this as best as I can. My daughter gets it because she's kind of like me. Oddly enough, I don't really have to tell her. If you have a baseline for what you're trying to do, that'll be your compass. A baseline for what you're trying to do. As saying that, like I had to teach her about constructive criticism for a drawing, and I just try to tell her, don't get offended. Just use it. Whatever they're telling you, just use it. Constructive criticism. I used to get it. I used to get offended. Don't get offended. Just use it. Whatever they're saying, use it. The way this works, you can't take people seriously, just like Leo said. You can't. You'll live and die off of what they think, and you don't want that. It could be a while before you wake up and realize that shit doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You know what matters? The only thing that matters is what I want. That's the only thing that matters. Now, what you want, maybe that just boils down to how you were brought up. Yeah, but I want to be a good guy. I don't want to be a bad guy. I want to be a good guy, raise my kids, die with some kind of honor, and that's it. But the 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 genius of it is, yeah, don't take stuff seriously. You see political stuff online, don't get swept up in it. You see people hating each other, stay out of it. You see people saying things about groups of people like you, or if somebody says some, I don't know, some anti-Latino shit, yeah, that's not everybody, dog. That's everybody's not like that. What the
Right.
internet wants me to do is it wants me to look at people that are different than I am and hate them because of what one or two people might have said. And this is where real life experience come in, which is where I think this generation is greatly lacking. Yeah, the only reason I'm kind of still here is because some people that don't look like me saved my ass when I could have got God. That's reality. Fuck the internet. So you got to just kind of be aloof. For those that
But
don't know what aloof means, look it up. You just have to
I
kind of be aloof.
but isn't
Yo,
that's crazy
so
though, right? I'm assuming we were all raised like that, right? Like what the way I was raised was entertainment was entertainment. Rap music, movies, it was entertainment. That's all it was. And the internet, same thing. It's just
I don't think,
entertainment.
yeah, but even when we were young, bro, I don't think some people knew there was a line. I'll say this, that there was a time when I thought rap was more than it really was. Now that I'm older, I know exactly what it was, and I'm very suspicious of it also. Now that I'm older, because I see what it did to a generation, and I know that no, it wasn't always that way. It actually wasn't always that way. Toxic. Rap was some good shit that you go to a rec center party, you trying to get on some ass. It turned into something else, or it was turned into something else. Now, whether it's social engineering, I don't know, but I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out. You read about that shit they did in Tuskegee, it's like, hey, if they could do that, they could do a lot of shit to a lot of people. So I don't rule anything out. But the long and the short of it is, the only things you should take seriously are the things that pertain to you. Don't get swept up in anybody's war, anybody else's feelings, anybody else's history, because They want to group us up so that then they can make us fight each other. That's literally what y'all. Oh, these people are against those people because he said this, and they said, "Man, fuck all that shit."
Oh yeah, I had a
I
guy.
think it's just funny. You just said like don't take things too seriously. Like my coworker just had a birthday like a couple days ago, and I just looked at let me just try to write some shit and not take the shit. Let me just like write some off the cuff shit. So I wrote "Merry Christmas" and I signed my name.
Well, hey, Jules,
No,
like,
no, no. But this was,
I had a
but like
friend
I went back.
I had a
Hold on.
friend who, like, was trying to get me interested or involved in the whole Israeli-Palestinian thing, and I said, you know what? That's not my war, dude. I don't want nothing to do
Bro,
with
that's
it.
yo.
And
Listen,
he got
listen.
mad
That's
at me about it because he had strong feelings about it. I was just like, sorry, man, but that's not my thing.
I'm not getting out, and thank you, country, because I'm not getting. Yo, y'all gotta fight. All right, and that's y'all war. That don't got nothing to do with me, right? Now, it's not at my. I got feelings about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna let the feelings rule me because, hey, y'all the ones that's in that shit. I ain't over there, you know. I don't hate neither of y'all personally. I don't know y'all to be hating y'all to have them strong feelings. So I'm not gonna let my imagination run wild. Y'all do what y'all do. I got my own shit to do. I gotta go get A, B, C, and D. I got my own shit I gotta do to be worrying about y'all and what y'all doing. I cannot.
No,
Shout
but
out to Pedro. Statistically, women are the problem. No pill. Shout out to 8MJ. What round you think Ryo gonna get knocked out by Javante Cherry Pick Davis? I don't know, man.
Wait, they're fighting.
I mean, it's
They
looking more and
supposed to.
more. It's
Oh,
looking more and more like they're going to, But Ryo's got a battery in his back now, so let me just think about that a little longer. Pedro said, "What round Javanka gonna lose to a woman?" Shit, I don't
oh.
know, man.
but I saw some shit on Twitter. It had me laughing. It really had me laughing because it was a speech that it was a good-looking woman, but it had a big nose, a prominent nose, and it was posting like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna post my face with a big nose," and it went to the comments, and there was a lot of people asking her she was a Jew, a Jew, a Jewish.
Mm.
I was like, don't you understand that shit was propaganda? I'm in Chile. I see bitches like that all the fucking time. There are no Jews here in Chile.
No, I
That
mean, look,
doesn't fucking mean anything. Have on
bro.
a fucking nose.
The thing
Doesn't
is
mean
that
you're Jewish.
what's going on now, the reason I try not to get into it is because of the where it's coming from. It's coming from people online. It's just a bunch of unverified information, a bunch of mess. I don't even know. I don't want to know, It's not relevant to my day-to-day comings and goings. But what I notice is that there are so many groups that are against each other now when they all seem to. Well, I don't know. It's a deeper conversation than that. But just focus on your own shit. Is the only advice that I could give anybody, and don't get swept up in anybody's history or anybody's war, because that's the shit that's going on there. They want you to feel some type of way about, like, yeah, ain't nobody over there did nothing to me, dog. All right, if you do something to me, that's different. Other than that, ain't all this crazy shit y'all talking about. Yeah, get out of here, b. I ain't
Yeah,
into
man.
all
Like,
that
why
bullshit.
do we need to be dragged into something that has nothing to do with us? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, like I ain't in that shit, dog. Like I don't wish nothing bad to none of y'all. But if y'all want to do bad things to each other, that's on y'all, man. That is on y'all. Ain't got. I ain't tell nobody to do nothing to y'all. Y'all doing that to each other, and y'all been doing that to each other. That's y'all.
Yep.
But but it's funny. It's like even actors they want to play activist and side and pick a side in the conflict. And now some of them getting canceled for it and shit
I
because
mean, I see why people I see why people lead nomadic are kind of nomadic. I see the older I get why. It's hard not to get swept up in what these people want you to get swept up in because they're basically telling you that if you don't agree with their ideology, oh, you're bad and you're evil. And of course you're going to want to defend yourself. Stay out of it. Shut the fuck up. Stay out of it. The
Yep.
less they know about you, the better.
Yep.
But does anybody read a newspaper anymore? Like,
I
does
don't think
anybody
so.
read?
No, I mean, print has been a dying medium for about 20 years, so I would say no.
News is
I don't
all
think
online.
people.
That's all
I mean,
online, man.
I used
Websites.
to have current event day. You know, I remember having current
Bro, I
event
was
day.
reading Boondocks over 20 years ago in the paper in New York. That's the Boondocks. I didn't even watch the TV show like that. I was my first encounter with Boondocks was in the paper. I just
What?
can't remember if
But
it was the Post or the Daily News that was printing it.
I used to read the New York Times, the Washington Street Journal. Like I used to read a lot of mediums because I wanted to stay informed. But that's what the only reason I'm saying that is because like that's what you're seeing, what you're talking about. I think is like somebody will watch a YouTube video or Twitter and then they know all this information. Like, nah, bro, you have to really be informed. And I feel like I'm not even informed enough to broach a lot of these topics.
I feel like it's an information overload. I feel like it's an information overload to the point to where if you have life experience, use that as your compass because you can't trust what you're seeing. You can't trust. Look, not to get political, you can't trust the Democrats any more than you can trust the Republicans. When the fuck have you ever been able to trust politicians of any denomination? When has that ever been the? Oh yeah, because politician wouldn't do no shit. Or because he's a Republican, or because he's bullshit. It's all bullshit, bro. You got to use what life experience you had to try to do what's best for you. Because the way things are, yes, it's a minefield. Everything is a minefield now. You know, shit doesn't make no sense. Like
Well,
if I
I get it.
say here's an example. If you look at the situation with the border, and they're funneling in all these people, right? They're trying to make it to where if you say, well, I think there needs to be some oversight on who you're allowing in the country, they'll try to, weaponize that against you, but that's not dissimilar from knowing who you invite to your house.
Yep.
It's not, I don't think there's
The
anything
exact
wrong
same
with
idea.
saying, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, yes, if you're going to let people in the country, you should at least know something about who they are. You don't, now we got a class of criminal, and I already said this shit. I've been said this shit. Now you have a class of criminal in this country you cannot control, and it's not to be underestimated. People don't understand that these motherfuckers is ruthless. You think you know bad, you have no idea, and you fucking morons just let them in. What are you gonna do now? Look what's happening in Colorado and Aurora. What are
Yep.
you gonna do now? A lot of things are happening now that didn't need to happen because of gross oversights. So if you make the suggestion that, maybe if we're going to let people in here, we should know something about who they are. Oh, that makes you the bad guy. It's like, well, I don't think that's extreme, dog. That's not extreme,
Does the panel
but
know what's going on? Does the panel know what's going on in Aurora right now?
I don't know if they do.
Yeah, I've been seeing things about it. Yeah.
Do you want me to share it? Can I share it, or is it something you don't want to avoid the topic?
I mean, if it's controversial, I don't want to get too into it,
Well, it's not.
but it.
Well, it's not. There's a certain set of people from a South American country that's entering the United States. They're criminals. They're taking over apartment complexes
Oh
by hook or
yeah,
crook.
yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that. Yeah, I
and
heard.
it's happening right outside of Denver, and it's obviously scaring the shit out of a lot of people because they're scaring a lot of people because they have guns and they're being
Well, the
filmed.
thing is that
Yeah.
if they do hear what they do, all I can say is it's bad. It's actually very bad, and people don't understand now how bad it can get worse. Because that when I saw they were doing that in New York, that's what I was afraid of. That this is going to change the topography of New York City for the next 20 to 25 years, to where the New York that I grew up in will not exist. And hey, and then I realized, hey, wait a minute, the New York that somebody else grew up in doesn't exist anymore because of people like me. So, time is time, bro. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do.
Yep.
Why they would want that? What? I have my theories, and I think you know what they are. I see a clandestine effort to destabilize the American government.
Oh yeah.
That's what I see, dog. Like, yeah, somebody's doing this. But it's scary shit, man. I'm gonna go to sleep, yo, because it's getting too deep in here. It's getting too fucking heavy.
All
Some
right,
real
salute.
shit.
Yeah, scare the
Read
shit
the
out of
super
everyone and
chats
send them to
before you
bed.
do, bro.
Okay,
You
no
got
problem.
sweet dreams, guys.
Hey, don't forget about the super
Salute.
chats, though.
Thank you.
Were there any other super chats?
Yeah, there was another
Yeah,
one.
some last
There
ones.
was
Let me see. Hold on, before I get out of here. Let me see. Fuck, man, where's the fucking chat? Fuck. Okay. No, I read those, bro.
Love is love, but my food high key. You didn't read that one.
I didn't read that one. Love is love, but my food high key, especially now, sí or no. Sí, Pedro. Porque sí. Go to sleep.
Buenas